Okay. Sorry about that. I had some minor technical difficulties in the background. Over there. Hey everyone, and welcome. Scales of Destiny, episode 32. 33. Let's get it right. Hope you're all doing well. Hope everyone's having a good rest day, night, morning, however. If you're joining us on Twitch, hey, thank you for joining us live. If you're joining us on YouTube later on, hey, we're streaming on Twitch. Let's switch scenes. That might be a good idea. So the right scene. There we go. Hi. So yeah, if you're joining us on YouTube, you know, do the like, subscribe thing. Would be nice. YouTube's been going pretty well recently. Trying to maybe push that a little bit more. If you're here on Twitch, maybe, you know, give us a shout out somewhere. That'd be cool. Or if not, feel free to lurk and just chill. That's what we'll be doing. We had an interesting session last week. Thank you, Rando, for the 7 months. I appreciate that. Yeah, we had an interesting session last week. I was attempting a slightly new style. Let's turn the music down a bit. A slightly new style of play where instead of maps for everything, it was kind of theatre of the mind a bit more, and maybe a bit more, you know, imagination based, which is how I literally started playing, so I'm kind of used to that. Wanted to take a bit more strain off Foundry, wanted to take a bit more strain off me having to find maps for every sort of section of the game. So far, I think it's doing alright. Please do leave feedback on anything about the game that you think is going well or could be improved upon. Always looking for constructive feedback. But with all that said, I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to press this button and undeafen myself, and let's see what they're talking about. Oh my god. Actual silence.
No one's here.
We didn't plan that.
That is the first time in a while. I'm a bit upset. That's a bit of a letdown. Hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you all?
Pretty
Good.
good. Pretty good.
Very good. That's good. That's good.
100 followers or so.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Furious. We hit 100 followers yesterday, which is pretty awesome. So that's exciting. We're 50 away from the giveaway. Also 100 is a pretty big deal. 100 in under a year, so that's exciting, you know. So let's keep that going, shall we? I think that's a good idea. Anyway, on to the D&Ds. Did I say it was Rob's turn? I think it's Rob's turn to give a recap, isn't it?
Oh boy.
Oh no!
I was waiting for that. Oh no, it's this guy's turn.
I'm not speaking English. Okay, right. Let's do a recap then. So, I believe it started last episode that we just walked in through the gates, awestruck by the beauty of Kirda Realm, and our first port of call was to find a place to stay. So we contemplated going to an inn, but then thought, well, if we're going to be staying here for any period of time, it's probably best if we get a house and rent one of those instead. And so we went to the where was it? It was in like the center of the city, was it, where they kind of manage all of the bureaucratic bits and bobs. Was it the town or town hall or whatever we call it?
Yeah, it was just a city hall.
City hall, there we go.
Yeah.
And so we made it there without much incident, and talked to the person who was responsible for dealing out all the the rent and everything for the houses. And after umming and ahhing which one to go for, me trying to get a ludicrous deal, ending up not getting that. But we went for something relatively modest. I've forgotten how much we're paying for two weeks worth, is it? And forgotten how much between us, but
Wasn't it 100 gold each for each
I think
week?
it was something like that, yeah.
Or...
But for
Mhm.
2 weeks,
Yep.
or for each week. And so anyway, we got the house, and so then we thought, well, maybe we'll go see if we can find some more information on our investigation. So I think we went to a bookstore to start off with, to see if we could find any clues or information to the current happenings. And upon doing this, we kind of searched around, and there wasn't anything really of major interest. There was a few books to do with runes, I think, for Vic, and there wasn't any picture books for Aqua, even though he did pick up one of Vic's runic books and deemed it not picturesque enough. In sort of midst of all of this, we got approached by the storekeeper. Does anybody remember his name?
Bjorn.
Bjorn. There we go. I should have remembered that. It's
Quite an easy
Remember.
name, to be honest, isn't it?
yes.
Mm.
But Bjorn had a particular interest, shall we say, in Vic and his runes, and so he decided to somewhat invite him around for tea. I think is what happened. And so we decided to then try and put together a meal. It was a stew, a meat stew of sorts, quite simple but hardy and rustic. And so we made that without any incident. So, it pulled it off without a hitch, no fires or anything. And we sat down to have our meal and wait for Bjorn to join us, but he never did turn up, which saddened Vic tremendously.
Naturally. He didn't want to admit it, but we all know.
Yes. Now, after we had our meal, Nell decided to do an experiment, shall we say, and she wanted to try and engrave the name of the I want to say like warlock patron. Is it patron? Into her skin so that she could read it and remember it. Because whenever she tries to read their name in the book, she cannot see it. The first sort of cut went horrendously, and she ended up stabbing herself quite gravely. And this caused all manner of hell to break loose. There was arguments between Nell and the patron, and this culminated in a showdown between us and some monsters. Now, what was interesting about this fight was that we were all kind of segmented into our own little sections, and it was kind of a 1v1 against each of these monsters. I believe there was a big sort of looked like a gorilla sort of creature which Vic was against. There was a stumbling zombie that Aqua was against. I was against some sort of bat-like half-torso shadow monster, and was now just against her inner demons, essentially. I wasn't paying much attention to Nell's fight. I was too busy trying to chase after my own monster.
It's almost like you had your
Nell
own thing
wasn't
to do.
fighting. She
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
fighting.
Okay.
Well,
I thought...
she was participating, but she wasn't like there was nothing she was particularly fighting.
Okay, yeah. We all managed to defeat the monsters without much collateral damage, apart from the fact that Aqua managed to flood the garden and then lightning strike everything, which caused much pain to the monster and also many koi. None survived. And I think that was the only real damage. There's maybe a few holes in the walls here and there that we might need to repair before giving the keys back. But I think our deposit may be null and void after that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where we left off, really.
Okay. It's fairly thorough, as per usual. Well done, Rob.
Okay.
Um, so, we pick up immediately after the events that have just occurred. Vic, you are still embiggened. Nell, you are still... No, sorry. Aqua, you're still flying? Levitating, were you?
Yeah.
Levitating. Flying, sorry. And you're still kind of up in the air, looking over this pool of the pond that you have sort of essentially flooded into all of the grassy lawn area, with just koi now floating all around. Sköld, breathing heavily. I don't think you took a single wound. I can't remember. You might have taken a hit or two, but
yeah.
Coming out fairly well from it. You turn to see the carnage brought before you. And Nell still stood sort of knee deep in the pool, looking over at where the being was and has now disappeared from. Looking a bit shaken, but all of your friends seem to be alive. Positive. As you're all kind of taking a moment, taking a breath, Nell and Aqua, make a perception check for me. All right, both of you just hear,
Oh no.
hello, sorry I'm late, I got caught up in looking for your books. I hope there's some dinner left for me. You hear Bjorn at the door, kind of just knocking.
Nell stood there holding her bleeding hand that had the dagger stuck in there for a while, looking around, just sort of tears streaming down her face, and then she looks at Vic. Vic, someone's knocking for you, I think.
Hello, Don. It sounds like your date from the bookstore.
Yeah.
There was no date. There was just mutual appreciation.
Mutual appreciation.
I feel like that sounds worse than a date.
Mutual appreciation of knowledge. Okay. We will say, are there dead bodies of these things, or they disappeared?
No, they all turned to ash and sort of disapparated. Very much
Okay.
kind of Voldemort-esque.
Okay. We were training. Okay? We were training.
Well, did anyone save any food?
Yeah.
Maybe we should just turn them away and say that we've had a bit of an incident.
I was going to say, we might as well not waste this fish. We can get Nell to cook one quickly.
No, I mean, Nell is bleeding. I don't think she is in
He's
much
always
state
bleeding.
I was electrocuted by something.
Yeah, so
Okay.
are these fish.
I'll answer the door. Can I stop being embiggened? Can I think to be smaller? I can wait. This has probably been.
You know, because you've refreshed it quite recently.
Right.
Okay, it's only a minute to do. So it's exactly okay. As soon as we finish the fight, so I've probably got another 40 seconds.
So
okay.
You did it. You did Giant's Might on your last turn. So it's literally been probably about 10 seconds since you Giant's Mighted again.
50 seconds left of that, so I probably can't. Okay, can someone else answer the door?
I can probably clean up.
I'll answer the door then.
Yeah, just say we got some food if they want to have it, but we had the training accident or something.
Okay.
I'll fly down to where Vic is, so I'm next to him.
I'm gonna think small in the corner.
Okay, this is the door.
Yeah, it's around there.
So yes, I open the door and greet Bjorn, but say that we've had a bit of a training accident.
No. I hope everyone's okay.
Yes, there's nothing too serious, but I don't think a few of us will be, well, let's say, in the right frame of mind for dinner. We do have some leftovers, though, in terms of we cooked something and had it ourselves, but we left some for you if you would like to take some away.
Oh, that's very kind of you. I apologize for being late. I was looking into something. Vic did mention that he was interested in runes, and I followed up on a lead that I'd heard about.
It's all right. It's well, as they say, these things happen, and I'm sure we can arrange for another get together some other time.
I do hope so.
But
Very interesting person.
did you find anything of particular interest then? Perhaps I can forward it on to Vic when he's available.
Well, I did find out, or at least I'm in the process of finding out, where one of the last Valkyries live. And this one is one that I think Victor is going to be very pleased to see.
Well, I'm not too well versed, so maybe when he's back in fine form, you can come round and you can explain these things to him in person.
Mate, you would know the Valkyries. They're
Yes, now I remember.
Now you remember.
Yes.
The Valkyries are specifically part of Karasgardian well, not mythology, but legend. The greatest warriors, all female, greatest female warriors would always be imbued with the title of Valkyrie. And then that would grant them some form of power, be it runic power, be it arcane, or potentially divine, depending on their proclivities beforehand. And from what you know, they're either all extinct or almost extinct. There hasn't been talk of a Valkyrie, or there's definitely been no new Valkyries in a very long time.
Okay. Very interesting. You say that one of the last ones, I wasn't aware that there was any left.
She certainly keeps a low profile, but you know where to look and know who to ask. She becomes readily available.
Or if you don't want to make yourself too much of a target, being the last survivor, it's I can see that being troublesome.
Indeed. Please tell Vic to visit me when he is well, and we can arrange something, I'm sure.
Yes, definitely. Sooner rather than later, I'm sure.
Oh, I hope so.
Okay, I just can't go get some of the food.
Pack it up in a Tupperware.
That's what I was thinking. It's just like a Tupperware box, and you're just like, there you are. And it's like all condensationed inside because it's still slightly warm. And Bjorn takes it. Smells delicious, thank you. I'll be sure to rate your skills.
Well, thank you. It's not my primary focus, but I do like my food.
Good. I look forward to testing out your skill, and I'll let you know what I think.
Okay. Until next time. I'll see you.
Don't be a stranger.
I'm sure we won't. Closes the door.
Okay. Yeah, Bjorn just turns and walks off, and you just hear as he's as they're inhaling the like aroma from the meat stew.
Meant to eat it, not sniff it.
Just you don't snort it. Use a spoon. All right. Crisis averted for now.
Yes. How's everybody doing?
Well, in the panic of that, I want to, if I can, use destroy water on the pond.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to clean up the water. My idea is I'm getting all the water out the pond and letting the rest of it drain back in.
10 gallons.
So you destroy 10 gallons of the pool of water in that area.
Well, the fish are already gone, so it'd make it easier to clean them out.
I will just say 10 gallons isn't probably as much as you think it is.
I have no idea on metrics.
Well, let's just do a quick conversion. 10 gallon. Let's
Like 2.4 or something gallons per liter.
So it's 45 liters apparently, according to Google.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's not much. You see the pool, like the flood, essentially just sort of ripple a little bit and then drop ever so slightly. Turns out a tidal wave. There's quite a lot of water in it. But yeah.
Right, well, if everybody clears up their respective mess, then maybe we'll be able to at least leave this house in a somewhat reasonable state.
We can get rid of the water. It'll soak into the ground eventually. Hopefully.
Mhm. What do you guys think he meant when he said, "That's what she has been doing," in quotes?
Well, it obviously sounds like he knows Jambari, and considering how, well, influenced she is. Then...
Wait, actually, did they actually hear that? Because I think I messaged him that.
Yeah, they didn't hear anything that the aspect of Ertu said.
Okay, then I turned to them. So Ertu said something very interesting. I told him about the beanbag, and he said apparently he didn't know about it. Oh, did I just say the name? Imagine I didn't say the name.
You didn't.
Okay. And apparently he didn't know about it, and he found it very interesting. And he said that someone is up to something. He said that's what she has been doing. I don't know who he's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about Jambari. I don't know if he's talking about someone else. I don't know what it means.
How would he not know everything? I thought he'd know everything of what you were doing.
That's what I thought.
I mean, showing how old you actually are and how much you've been through. He's been through that as well, so if he doesn't know...
Yeah, I don't know.
She could be Jambari, but there's plenty of different possibilities.
Clearly, if I don't know, it didn't seem like she was trying to. She wants us to destroy the beanbag. It's not like she wants us to give it back to her. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, we're tasked to find, but who says we're not being paid to locate and then they're going to intervene?
Yeah.
Someone might try to kill us and take it, or just, take it anyway.
Yeah, definitely that sounds like something more is going on here.
Plus, she has dragons locked away. There's something weird.
Now that you speak of it, it does sound somewhat dubious.
Maybe
There's a
she's
lot
not
of
who she says she
information
is.
that we don't know about. Maybe, well, she is paying for this expedition, but maybe we need to keep an open mind as things go on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe spend all the money and they can't take it back then, can they?
I'm less
Just
concerned about the
Still
money,
take your
more
life.
about. Yeah, exactly.
But I think regardless of who is right and who is wrong and all that sort of stuff, we know that the bean bag, or whatever we want to call it now, has been stolen from Karasgard.
Yeah.
And so if we can at least find its location, we can then figure out what we need to do with it afterwards.
I mean, having a pet dragon is not a bad idea.
Thinking drop it at the bottom of the sea. No one's going to find it down there. Well, apart from my race, but we're not looking for it.
Yeah. We'll see. I think I need some sleep.
You do have a hole in your arm.
I look down at my arm. I do.
You all good? Is it not bleeding too much, is it?
I'll be fine.
She says, while it is bleeding profusely.
Yeah.
Okay. I go dress the wound.
We didn't even have one night in this place.
I think that's part of the course.
Yeah, but we could have done. We could have just had a rest, had a nice meal.
Sorry I ruined your date.
Well, he was late anyway, so I think we're all right.
All right. As you all kind of head off in your own directions and settle down for the night, are you going to set up watches, or are you just all going to go to sleep?
I think we're just gonna go to sleep. It's
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sleeping.
Make sure the front door's locked, I guess.
Okay, so there's like a sort of perimeter check and kind of last sort of security watch, and then you head off to sleep. And you will get your long rest.
Oh, I don't have 109 hit points though, do I?
Maybe it wasn't Yathina that cheats. Maybe it's Burius. Maybe
Bruce always says.
maybe it was Burius all along. Okay. As you all wake up in the morning, bright and breezy, who's up first? What's occurring?
No idea. I'm gonna
Suppose
make
I'll
some
be up.
breakfast.
relatively early, just to have a look at the general state of the garden now that it's light and see the full extent of the damage.
Okay, the first thing you notice when you wake up in the morning and come out to check out the garden is that there are 3 dwarves dressed in fairly sort of like comfortable but practical clothing. One's holding a rake, one's holding a set of shears, and another one is holding like varying equipment, sort of watering can, that sort of thing. And they are just looking at disbelief at the carnage that has occurred in the lawn area and pond. One of them has a tear sort of running down his eye or cheek.
Yeah, there was a bit of a natural disaster that happened last night. Very local.
A natural disaster, you say?
Unbelievable.
The dwarf with the rake talks, but in sort of like a Brian Blessed, Tom Baker sort of way, where it's really unnecessarily loud and booming. What do you mean, a natural disaster?
Oh, as you can see here, there was a flood. Couldn't make it up.
But how?
Wow.
What happened to
There's
all the
fish flying
koi?
around. Yeah.
Well, they're not used to such an environment. It must have been quite. Well, I only saw the aftermath, but the actual cause of it, unknown. Must have been quite an extreme occurrence to kill all the fish.
And you did nothing to save them?
Well, by the time I had seen them, they were already dead.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Believe it or not, it was worse. We've done a bit to kind of not repair the damage, but reduce its effect. So, yeah, it was quite shocking ourselves.
Those poor koi. They were a week away from retirement. Ah. And it starts getting very melodramatic and, like, weeping. The three gardening maintenance dwarves all start, doing the same sort of, like, back of their hands on their foreheads, heads back, wailing, and it's an interesting performance.
I'm gonna join in. I want to come from the kitchen with like some bread or something.
Okay.
Eat it as I come out and just be like. So, your job to sort this out, is it?
Our job was to just make sure we'd pruned the cherry trees and raked up
Okay.
some leaves.
Well, don't have to rake any leaves today, at least.
More weeping.
How much? Do you know where you can buy some more? Like, can you like what? How much to like get rid of the water and like go and get some more fish?
More fish! More
Mhm.
fish, he says. Oh, woe is me. Oh.
You don't have to. We'll pay out. I'm sure other people will like money too.
Oh, I am utterly inconsolable.
Okay, we'll see you later then.
They kind of just stand there dumbstruck and dumbfounded. Like, literally no idea what to do.
Money for work.
That wasn't agreed though. We didn't know that it came with maintenance people.
I didn't know there was going to be a flood either. I mean,
Yeah, I
who
mean,
would have?
theoretically, it's probably not down to us really, anyways. But we're happy to make it better because we want to have it nice while we live here. Yeah. Where can you get where can you get some more fish from anyway?
These fish were a rare breed brought from over the sea. I don't actually know they were here before I started work.
Okay.
I'm sure we can go fishing and fish some more fish and put them in the pond.
Yeah.
Go
Aqua,
fishing and get more fish, he says.
we'll
Oh,
throw Aqua in the water, can't we?
oh.
Aqua's
Um,
still sleeping, so we can't ask him. But I'm sure.
Oh
he
no,
can...
I'm not sleeping. I've heard the noise. I just keep poking my head out round the door because I don't want to get involved in this.
These weren't just any fish. These were special fish. 1 week from retirement.
Oh, that would have been exchanged anyway then.
Yeah, been killed next week probably.
Do you think they're nice to eat?
Is this a
I'm not
legitimate concern or is this some kind of distraction tactic? Because it's being very over the top.
Make an insight check. Honestly, it could easily be either. There's definitely an element of melodrama. but also it could be legit.
Hmm.
Are the fish still lying around? In
Oh
the
yeah,
bottom
like
area?
what water there still is, they're just sort of like floating around in them in there,
Oh, at the top, probably. Tummy up.
pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, I'll start to pick them up.
Okay. Every time you pick one up, you get a bit of a. Bzz.
So we rent this place for our own privacy anyway, and then people can just come in here. I don't understand it.
Well, we have a key,
Maybe you shouldn't.
but it's our job. What are we gonna say to the boss?
I don't understand. Like, this is supposed to be like somewhere we've rented for our own privacy, somewhere we can store stuff, yet people can come and go.
We were only supposed to be here for 10 minutes to do some pruning and raking. I guess the watering can's a bit redundant now.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay, so calm down. And next, would you like to earn some more money?
How much money are we talking?
Well, there's 3 of you, yeah?
There's 3 of us.
So, clearing all this water, getting some more fish, similar fish. I mean, if you can't get the same fish, similar, same size fish at least. You know, who cares really?
He pulls out a notepad. Similar fish, similar size.
Yeah, an amount. You know, how much do you guys think would be fair for your time?
How much do you have?
I think we could probably go as high as 20 gold each.
Deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
What the one with the watering can? It just like, well, I would have actually gone for about 5 silver each actually, but 20 gold. Hell yeah.
Well, that's supposed to include the price of the fish as well, obviously.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Fine, do it. I expect a very quick job then in that case.
20 gold each.
Mm-hmm.
And they all hold out their hands. Pay up now.
I'll give you 1 gold each now. The rest. You had to do the whole job for 5 silver. I'll give you 1 gold now. You can give the rest when you're done.
How are we supposed to get the fish without all the money?
You just said 5 silver each would have been enough with the fish, didn't you?
Yeah, we would have taken 5 silver, but you offered 20 gold, so we want the 20 gold.
Yeah, but that would have been enough to buy the fish, I thought, from your original estimate.
Well,
So you could be able to find the fish.
I don't actually know how much the fish are. We just work here, we didn't buy it. Oh, this isn't how I wanted my day to go.
Well, you wanted to have less money?
I just wanted to have an easy job.
You know what? Maybe we should do it ourselves.
But you said 20 gold.
I did, but then you kept complaining.
I just want my 20 gold.
You can have 1 gold now.
Fine.
I'll give them 1 gold each.
Ooh, I've never had a gold before.
Wow. Keep going, you get more.
They all go and start like wading through the water to prune the cherry blossom, and the guy with the rake starts raking through the water, and he's just like, I don't think this is working.
No, what a good job as well.
And they every time they come near a fish, they sort of literally try and maneuver themselves out of the way.
I'll pick them all up and put them like on a pile somewhere where it's dry, so we can clean them away later.
Okay. It takes you a long time. There's a surprising amount of fish here. Probably about 30 or 40. All koi. And all koi completely dead.
Oh,
Leaving. Session over.
dear. Goodbye, bye.
Moving on. The dwarves, they, do some trimming and a bit of raking in the water. And then they sort of wade out and like up to their sort of just under their shoulders completely. Well, it's not that deep. That's a bit silly. About their waist. About waist height. And they start sort of muttering under their breath about how unhappy they are about being wet. Where do we get the fish from? Oh
Can't
no.
you just go fishing and catch them?
A
How
koi!
How does anyone I don't know where koi live.
Neither do I. They don't live here.
I kind of get some look-alike fish.
Oh no.
We can dress them up when you find some fish that are similar size. It's fine.
Fish don't wear dresses.
We can paint them. It's all good. It's all good. We'll sort it out. Aqua hears in his head, I need your help here.
She just says back, have they gone yet?
Nope.
Crap.
Well, we'll head into town and see what we can do.
Okay, remember, this water needs to go as well as part of it.
We don't have a bucket.
You have water in cans.
We have one. Oh,
Alright,
there's
buy
so
some
much
more.
water.
Go buy some buckets out of the money you get in. Then maybe you can do a job like this in the future. I don't know. Like, if you want to call a deal off, I'll have my gold back, and then you can just leave.
But we've already done some of the work.
Well, better carry on then.
Fine, I'll be back. And they all go traipsing off, like leaving literal like puddles of water every time they step. Like they're very wet.
They're some of the most miserable, complaining people I've ever met.
I've appeared out now. I'm like, Vic, you just don't understand.
What do you mean?
These fish, they're all gone.
Yeah, and who made that happen?
God, unfortunately.
Now you consider yourself to be God, eh?
No, completely out of my hands. It's just an unfortunate accident.
You need to remember this kind of thing for the future. It's not the first time we've electrocuted one of ourselves or, innocent things.
Surprisingly, we really don't learn from this, do we?
You're saying we in this kind of situation.
I'm not the only one that's electrocuted us all. I look at Nell.
I haven't electrocuted anyone.
Yes, you did.
I think you did.
What?
On the boat, remember?
The dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
We don't learn from our mistakes, apparently. We don't remember we did them.
Oh, guys, remember when I was a dragon? I think I need to pick
Oh,
up
God.
another one of those potions. Maybe I can try out a different dragon that time. Next time.
Yes.
What sort of dragons are there? Are there like fire dragons?
Why don't you message Jambari and ask her? She's got some dragons, hasn't she?
I thought the so-called beanbag we were after was part of a fire dragon.
Oh, was he? What color was he? Red? Are red dragons
According to
fire
the
dragons?
legend, well, I'm assuming.
Don't know if I'd know, so.
We've only
I mean-
met a green dragon. What can the green dragons do?
Grass.
What did you say? Grass?
Yeah. I'm looking around and it's the first green thing I see.
Great
That sounds
camouflage.
reasonable.
Nice.
I don't think we're very versed in dragons anyway. Maybe more books. would
I
be
don't think many
ideal.
people are.
Yeah, we should get some books on dragons that aren't written in Dwarven.
Oh, I forgot, Sköld. Last night I didn't ask you what Bjorn said.
Ah,
Did they have any information?
yes. Apparently, he has information on the last of the Valkyrie,
Mm.
but he didn't divulge much else apart from that. He said that he'd like to talk to you in person.
Okay. I guess I could stop by the shop today.
Make sure you have a wash beforehand.
I was just waist deep in water like last night.
Yeah, but this
wash?
is not... Just saying, you want to look nice.
I can
Um,
clean you off if you want.
Excuse me.
Okay. I'm okay. I think I'm fine as I am for the job that needs to be done.
Nice. Nice.
That's my plan for at least this morning. What are you up to? You gonna stay here and fix your mess, you two?
Sure. Yes.
I mean, I'm paying someone else to do it too, but I don't know. You might someone.
Wait,
here
how
to-
much you paying them? Do
Probably
it for half the price.
It was more than they definitely need, but I figured more money, less complaints. But I was wrong, apparently. More money, even more complaints.
More,
Give me all your money, I won't complain.
my money, my problems.
Hmm.
As the old dwarfish adage goes.
I also have to keep up the thing about me and Sköld like overpaying for stuff anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna run out of money pretty soon.
Fine.
I'll happily come with Vic because I don't like standing around.
Obviously, you two guys can do whatever you want. I was just.
I feel like, Sköld, I feel like you would be like a third wheel.
Oh no, I'm happy with someone coming with me.
Wingman.
So you two
Okay.
don't have to stay here and
The
do
more
stuff.
the merrier.
Not. Maybe not. No, maybe you just keep playing with your fish.
Excuse me. I'm not. My plan wasn't to come with you. I'm staying here.
Okay, good. I mean,
I'm just
okay.
saying you should still. It's a date. You should go by yourself. Not invite Sköld. But if you're into that, that's fine.
Do you even know what a date is?
Yeah, I've been on plenty of dates, and she counts on her hand at least two. I'm 400 years old. You know, I've had some date experience. I think.
Exactly. I imagine in 400 years, I'd expect you would have done, but do we know for sure? If you don't remember the experience, does it really count?
And how many of them survived?
Yes.
I look at Aqua. That is very uncalled for.
I mean, remember the first time we met?
Again,
Was
very
that-
uncalled for.
Stay out of trouble if you can.
I'm staying here. I'm not doing anything. I'm cleaning up.
We were here last night, and plenty of trouble still happened.
I'm not. Yeah, I promise I won't do anything.
That was an that was an Uno reverse card if ever I saw one.
Aqua, if you've got, just fly away if anything, just.
Bye, that's gone
Okay.
now. That was a potion.
Oh. See you later, bye.
No.
He didn't even comb his hair.
Aqua checks his pocket for his last
Oh,
potion.
no,
Like,
before-
oh, well, that's not going to help me.
Before they go, as he walks out of the door, I cast prestidigitation on him just to make him smell nice and make him look very his hair flat and his beard combed and just make him look very nice.
Are you within range?
As you walk out of the door,
I don't know.
I'm not gonna play out every fucking step that I take.
I don't need to look nice.
You do. You already do. Go on, have fun.
You
All right.
coming, Sköld?
Yep. I wouldn't want to leave you alone with that man.
Thank you.
Us, and we decided we didn't know whether it was a man or a woman.
Yeah, not
It's
sure.
a general term.
Geezer.
Okay. The two of you head back off out into the city, back towards Bjorn's books. It would seem that the city's quite quiet at the moment. And not much seems to be happening. There's a few people milling around. Businesses are opening up for the day, setting up their stalls and flipping their sign for from closed to open. And you find your way back to Bjorn's books. The sign on the door is currently closed, but you can see movement inside of like dwarfish figure just kind of scuttling around. And then you just hear, "You came. Excellent. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. How are you today? Looking dashing. Both of you.
Thanks.
Now,
Yes.
I think we have some business to attend to.
Yep, business. All about business. That's what I enjoy.
I must say that meat stew was pretty fantastic last night. Thank you. I almost came
that's
back for a second
Sköld.
serving, but
I
didn't
think
want to
Sköld
disturb.
gave you everything that was left over, actually.
Oh well, thank
Just
you.
make an okay sign.
Good meal there, Sköld. Very well done.
You can see that Bjorn seems to have made a bit more effort today. The shaved side of the head is like properly, like seems to be freshly shaved, and like that half of the face that was yesterday adorned with sort of like kind of overpowering makeup today is kind of a bit more subtle, a bit more sultry. The other side with the hair kind of pulled back neatly and sort of like almost oiled to the oiled down, and then the plain side of the face. And there's a smirk. Wow, Sköld. I must admit, I was ready to be disappointed, but you exceeded expectations.
I'll take that as a compliment.
So you should. Anyway, on to proper business.
Yes.
I have a proposition for you, Victor.
It's Vic Valor, but
Oh, my apologies. My most sincere apologies, and like reaches out their hand, kind of just like almost touching your chest, like in a kind of apologetic. I apologize for assuming.
that's okay.
Please forgive me.
Forgiven.
I have news of hopefully something that you'll be interested in. One of the heroes of our society is a Valkyrie. I don't know if you know what Valkyrie is, but
I do not.
she is a hero of. She's a Dragon Slayer knight. She's been all over the islands, and if you believe the story, she's been all over the world. But she's currently, if rumor is to be believed, taken up residence just outside the city in a private villa. Now, she, believe it or not, well, maybe you do, she took part in the final battle against the Eternal Flame. And somehow, despite that being many centuries ago, still alive, far exceeding any lifespan that we could potentially aspire to.
Yeah, doesn't add up, does it? Some kind of youth magic.
This is the interesting part. She, on becoming a Valkyrie, was adorned with runic magic not dissimilar to yours.
Oh,
Hmm.
is there a
And
way to live forever with runes?
who
I don't know if
knows?
I'd want to live forever.
Maybe she could help you. Maybe she knows some things that you could benefit from, though. Although, an extended life for you wouldn't be too bad, would it? I think we could all appreciate that. Anyway,
Uh,
sidetracked. My apologies. She has had many centuries to master the runic arts and potentially create a few of her own. I think if you were to go and visit her, you would benefit a lot from this.
hmm. Well, I know that rune knights aren't that common, or are
Yeah.
they a bit more?
They're not very common. You wouldn't know necessarily about the tradition, of the Valkyries, but rune-based magic is very ancient and old, kind of a bit out of fashion. It's all about the arcane, divine, and natural type things these days. But there's still a place for runic magic, as you have shown. Even in the simplest of bare simplest of forms. And there's also no reason why over a long period of time you can't kind of create your own or study your own, or study to a point where you would have a near perfect knowledge of runes and such.
Okay. So this Valkyrie who fought, it wasn't just the Valkyries who fought them?
No.
Fought the dragon?
No.
I thought there was like a dwarf and male person, wasn't there?
So
Was a ma- it was.
the Dragon Slayer Knights weren't all dwarves. The organization as a whole was a combination of all races. Even sort of back in the day, elves were part of it. There's even rumors of Dragonborn, actually actual Dragonborn being part of the Dragon Slayer Knights, but that's a bit more of a myth/legend because nobody really remembers Dragonborn as a race. They've been gone for so long. But the dwarves were the most prolific members. Oftentimes the kind of most common members. And as a result, they often, especially in Karisgard, would be the heroes of their own story, So, I'm pretty sure I did mention another one as well, who I can't quite remember off the top of my head.
Have there been a guy or something?
A guy or something.
Yeah.
This guy.
That's helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it doesn't necessarily mean that words that this Valkyrie was the biggest and best dragon slayer ever. She just happens to be one of the last ones to have actually fought dragons. And considering that was 6-ish centuries ago, she's doing fairly well.
Older than Nell.
Older than Nell. Older than any dwarf should conceivably be.
I guess we should speak to this Valkyrie then. Do you know her name?
Her name is Ambrin Hammerhelm. Quite a famous one. She has a literal helmet that's a hammer. Renowned for bonking people on the head with her head, if you know what I mean.
Oh.
That seems interesting.
Mm.
She knows some about smithing too, Sköld.
I wouldn't want to smith with my head. That seems quite painful.
No. It's been around long enough, though. Maybe she has some information for all of us.
Perhaps.
Where would this villa be?
It's not too far. It's probably half a day's ride from the city.
And whereabouts in the directionally?
Oh, it's pretty much directly east, I think. Not east, west. Sorry, my directions.
Towards the volcano.
No, west.
Yep. That's where we came from. Oh, we must have.
Oh, you came. You must have. Maybe you passed it. Maybe you didn't quite go round.
Yeah,
It's-
still plenty of distance, I guess. But...
It's not quite. It's north of Linhalf, I think.
North of Lindhalf.
Yes. Yes.
And okay. Near any city? Near any other town or city? Or
There is a town nearby. I don't remember the name. I've not been there before. But it's not far from a town. You go between the forests, I think, and somewhere near the coast. Ooh, maybe a bit further than I thought.
what? More than half a day?
Maybe closer to a day. I'm a bit fuzzy. Sorry, you're very distracting.
Mate, it was the stew from last night.
I mean, maybe. She kind of looks over to Sköld.
Thank you for the information. You said about a deal, though. Was there a deal you wanted to? Was it just information you were happy to give?
Oh, it's just happy to help a friend. I did have a book I was going to offer you, but I think this might be a bit more valuable. You also bought the book you had yesterday, of course, and it's got some knowledge in it that you will benefit from, I'm sure.
Yeah, I've read a couple of chapters already, but training and then silly occurrences and,
Oh no, I did hear. Hope you're okay.
Oh, yes, nothing that a bit of healing and a good rest didn't fix.
Good rest. Very helpful. Goes a long way.
It does. Okay, was that everything you wanted to let me know about last night?
Well, mostly. I'm sure we can rearrange our dinner appointment for another day. I'll send word when I've got some free space in my schedule.
Sure. If you ever have any, do you have any books here actually about any other different types of dragons?
Ooh, into draconic lore, are we? Ho, interesting.
Well, yeah. Considering we might end up going to talk to a Valkyrie, maybe we should know a bit more about the topic of her the last fight, and different types. I want to seem knowledgeable,
I see. So you would like draconic lore, but also knowledge on Osoa. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yeah, might as well actually.
Very well. I think that would be 2 books. I don't really have one that melds general knowledge with such deep lore, but Please hold on. And Bjorn turns around and starts sort of rifling through a bookshelf that they seem to have underneath the counter that you're sort of stood at. And like muttering away quietly. And aha! Perfect. I found just what you need. I would be happy to loan this to you for a day or two if that's what you wish. I couldn't possibly part with it. That would deprive me of a great asset, but for you two, after the wonderful dinner you supplied me yesterday and the amazing company you both supply, I'd be happy to lend you one each for a day. But you would have to promise to return it tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds good to me. Sköld, you alright with that?
Yeah, I suppose it's the least we could ask for. It's of such value to you.
I mean, a book each. Both. I can read Dwarvish too, obviously, so we can maybe get through them today. And does it have to be in the morning tomorrow, or just at some point tomorrow before closing?
I'll give you 24 hours.
Okay.
I'm sure you could glean some inspiration and knowledge in that time.
Okay. Thank you very much for the books and for the other information.
You're welcome. Here is your bowl. And they kind of lift the bowl from underneath the counter and place it on the top. I've washed it for you so that it's nice and clean.
Thank you.
Yes, great. Thank you very much for that. It's nice people have good manners.
Of course, of course. Okay.
Better get going and reading these books then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, got a lot to read.
The two books, there's one that is sort of general knowledge of dragons, and it's fairly chunky, like it's got a few hundred pages, and like big, sort of proper A4 sized, I guess, and it's old, like like the binding is coming fairly loose, and it looks like a bit of mistreatment could put an end to the book quite severely. However, the second book just has on the front emblazoned Soa, the Eternal Flame, and like a rudimentary drawing of a huge ancient red dragon on the front, kind of like embossed and engraved slightly in the leather binding. This book looks pristine, almost untouched. The page
Juiced or
like this one has a definite difference to the other books in the shop that look like they're, I somehow arcane copies. These two books actually look unique. This one looks like it's barely been touched. The pages are still completely flat, whereas the other one, like the general knowledge one, has had a few dogtails on pages, and they're a bit wavy. They've maybe got a bit damp at some point in the past, and but the book about Asoa, pristine, still smells freshly written. Like the pages are still brand new, but still a sense of grandeur and oldness to it. It's heavy, far thinner than the general knowledge book, but still heavier.
Maybe I feel like, although I'm not bad, I feel like you're a bit more knowledgeable and a bit more, I don't know, wise when it comes to reading and books and gathering knowledge. Maybe you should take the Asoa one. It seems a bit more important.
Well, yes, if it's a bit more in depth, then have a look through it. But the general one might be good for just knowing the lay of the land and maybe getting to communicate a bit better with people.
Yeah, but one thing we should probably agree on is we don't let Nell touch these books.
Yes, I was thinking the exact same thing. Aqua, for that matter, as well. Might as well just...
To be fair, yeah, we'll just spend the day reading and, I don't know, away from them.
Yes. Still have a bag of holding, so I should keep them safe.
Yes, put them in there for now, I guess. I'll hand the book or one book over and
I think there's less chance of Aqua flooding a pocket dimension than there is anything else.
Here's hoping.
All right.
Like-
You head back. The journey's not too far. It's probably about 15 to 20 minutes, especially now that you're kind of learning the route. It's much busier. The city seems to have woken up a bit. Locals are heading off to their sort of preferred market stalls to get their fresh fruits and breakfast supplies and stuff for the day. There's chatter in the streets. Some of the taverns are now kind of reopening for business after being shut for a few hours to kind of clean and reset. And it's a very bustling, lively city. You're getting used to which staircases to take, and which ones to avoid. Some of them are a bit more perilous than others. And especially, Vic, you're noticing that all of the steps are built for dwarves. So they are probably half the size of what you are used to and could do with. So there is quite a regular occurrence of you taking a step and slipping, especially on the downhill when you're going downstairs. But you're getting more and more used to it as you go, and get back to the house, which we jump back to now. Aqua and Nell, what have you been up to?
Literally just cleaning up the koi fish.
I would have started helping.
Yeah, and then just cleaning up a little bit of the mess, doing the dishes. Nothing. I like Nell is not doing anything super interesting. She's just laying low, maybe changing the dressing on her hand. Asking Aqua whether he wants a formal burial for the fish. And otherwise, yeah.
I look at a fish that I've got in my hand, and I take a bite out of it. I am curious as to what it tastes like.
Tail first. Interesting choice.
I stare at Aqua and just shake my head and let him do what he wants to do.
You take a bite out of the fish. There's a moment of like a little bit of a shock through your teeth. It's not the nicest fish you've ever eaten. You've definitely had better.
Turn to now then. Yeah, these can be buried.
Okay. Do you have some sort of ritual that you want to do? You were mourning the fish quite a lot yesterday, or this morning even.
I slept on it. It's fine. We'll dig a hole.
Right. I mean, I suppose I could. It's a lot of fish. It's a big pile. I suppose I could sort of burn them away.
No fire. I'll dig a hole.
All right, fine.
Okay. Aqua, roll a strength check just to see if you can, dig the hole.
I'll help him dig the dig the hole though.
Aqua, roll a strength check with disadvantage as Nell helps you dig the hole with her -7 strength.
Oh, God.
Wait, is it?
-2 in strength.
Oh yeah, sorry, not -7, -2. She has it.
Oh, bang on. Beautiful.
Nice. It takes you a little while. The water's still slowly soaking into the water, so into the ground. So it's very heavy ground. And what are you digging with?
My hands.
Okay. So you kind of like plunge your hands into the ground, fingers first, and pulling some of the turf away, and then you just start digging like a dog. Splashing water everywhere, mud, dirt, everything. It's a bit of a disaster. About 10 minutes pass, and you've eventually got a hole you think would be big enough to house 40 dead koi.
40 dead.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'd shove them all in that one hole.
Oh god.
Okay. As you fill the hole back in, there is now a mound of dirt. Like you can't displace fish. Turns out in the ground. So now there's like a mound next to the pond where the fish
This
lay to rest.
do your pond fest. I was about to say this is going to smell really badly in a few days.
Yeah, we can just once Sköld gets here, we'll shove them into his pocket bag dimension.
That we have money in there. We have other stuff in there. I don't want that to smell like fish.
Yeah, I have nothing for this.
We'll just leave it for now.
I mean, I'm used to the smell of fish.
Yeah,
whether
I
they're
know you
alive or
smell like
dead.
fish. We have to deal with this every day.
May it be like home.
Okay.
Okay. Well, once you've finished digging the hole, that's around when Vic and Sköld return. And they're holding two very interesting looking books
No, they put them in the bag of holding.
Yeah, I think.
in their bag of holding. And okay, they return.
Oh, how's the cleanup operation coming along?
Yeah, mostly okay. We now have a fish grave in the backyard, but it's fine.
Hey, 40 kills on my account. Vanquished 40 foes.
I don't think they put up much of a fight.
The KD ratio is climbing, guys.
Now an extra 40 XP, I guess.
Oh, they don't even give 1 XP. Like,
Farm the fish. That'd be an interesting way if you gave XP, just go around just electrocuting the water on a boat. Just anyway.
How was your date?
Me and Skull didn't go on a date.
No, your date with Braun. Braun.
Bjorn.
It's Bjorn.
Exactly.
Was it a date, Skull? It didn't seem like a date to me.
No, it was all above board. There wasn't much flirtation.
There was none from me, at least. Maybe a little bit from them. I don't really pay attention to these kind of things. Anyway, we got ourselves some interesting books and some information.
Oh, nice.
As you can imagine, the books are in Dwarvish, so only me and Gold will be able to read them. And we only got them for 24 hours, so we're going to have to really read. So,
Okay, what are they on?
well, this one I got here is the general knowledge about dragons and the histories of dragons and that kind of stuff.
Oh,
So
cool.
maybe
Maybe
I'll
you
find
can find out what green dragons do.
Yeah, how different types of dragons and what.
What do you mean? They do grass.
Well, I'll find out for you, Aqua, for sure.
Yeah, prove me wrong.
And Skull's got a history of Asoa.
Yeah,
Oh.
so
Who's that?
specific.
That's the dragon, the red dragon, who's this egg thing might be.
Oh yes.
Who fell into the volcano apparently. Who the Valkyrie, who is. I don't think they really explained what the Valkyrie were to me. Skull, do you know though, right?
Yes, so Valkyrie are essentially a all-female warrior clan, I suppose you could say, that were part of the dragon hunters that vanquished Ysoa, and also they did other things before that and since. But they have, in recent times, dwindled in number, and apparently we may know the location of one of the last ones, if not the last one.
And we thought you were old now, but apparently this Valkyrie was there in the fight with the Eternal Flame, which is a Asoa, yeah? Yeah.
Oh.
and
Okay.
that was over 600 years ago.
Oh wow.
So maybe
Well,
he's
The
been-
old.
maybe
Is
you
she an
bumped
elf?
into him.
Is she an elf?
No, dwarf.
Can dwarves get that old?
Not normally, I don't believe.
No, even that's beyond dwarven lifespans.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So-
Maybe I have bumped into her. I don't know, but yeah, that sounds interesting. Do you want to go and talk to her?
Well, it's a day's journey back west, the way we came from, but just slightly north of Lindhof,
Okay.
to the coast. So I feel like we probably should, but not today or anything.
Yeah, you can read the books today and then give them back tomorrow. Maybe we can go there tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet because she'll have information on like the dragon, the fight of the dragon itself. They would have been part of the group who pulled out the heart,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe she's got information. This she that your friend mentioned last night. I mean, important, powerful she's. This Valkyrie would be one of them. Could be a potential. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, it must be someone that's on his radar. Someone that he, I assume, communicates with or knows about. So who knows? I don't know anything about Valkyries or the Dragon Knights. Not much other than Jambari told us anyway, and that you have told us now. But who knows? Maybe
Mm-hmm. Okay.
maybe he's talking about a god. Maybe he's talking about, someone else's champion. I don't know. Something. I'm. Maybe he's just talking about Jambari. Maybe that's the easiest solution. But that's just because it's the only important she that we know so far. So maybe that we're jumping to conclusions. I don't know. It's
Talking about Jambari during the time?
Pardon?
Were you talking about Jambari?
No, I was talking about the beanbag.
Hmm.
I told him my assumption was that I'm here because he wants the beanbag. But it didn't seem like he knows about he knew about the beanbag. So then he just said, "Oh, that's what she has been up to."
Okay.
So maybe he's talking about the person who stole the heart of Usoa.
Then he seems to know stuff about us, which means he's got to be listening through you sometimes.
Yeah.
'Cause the information he gets or is using against you seems to be very mixed. Maybe he was there when we spoke to her, so he knows who we're hired by.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe. I mean, I don't think he knows particularly who you are. I think he just knows that you are important to me, and that's why he's threatening me with you. And
I thought about our battles last night, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but they were Pacific to us. Mine was very close combat, which I do not like. Sköld's was running around a lot, from what I could hear. And Vic just was Vic.
it was quite a big thing.
So big.
oh yeah,
against
now
big.
that you mention it, I see the resemblance.
It's like he specifically set them up for us to fail, because that's what we're weak against.
I don't think, maybe, but I don't think he set them up for you to fail. If he wanted to kill you, he could have done it easily. Not with those things that were here. If he wanted to kill you, he could have just taken you away.
Maybe it's all a test then. But for what?
Well,
As
maybe
I'm
he just-
saying this, I am stroking my big feathered beard.
Mm-hmm. Literally, like the sheer chaos and randomness that happens around Aqua all the time, like him growing another feather beard is just completely like, you
just
know,
normal.
normal.
Yeah.
Like, were we there when you lost the beard last time? Would we remember how it went? I'm trying to think.
You probably
Can't
I think
remember
we
like
like meta-wise, we sort of forgot about that beard is that, and that Nell had a, I think, Daisy beard.
Yes.
And we sort of forgot about it, and then kept mentioning it in the 5 or 6 sessions afterwards, like sporadically when we remembered. And then at one point we said, "Oh, they sneezed and it went away or something."
Okay. Where are these dwarves? They must be out still getting fish or something. I don't know.
They didn't come back while we were here.
Maybe they won't come back. You know what? If they don't, it was worth the 3 gold to get rid of them.
Yeah, at least they're not whining anymore.
I'm gonna go and read this book. Go put my feet up.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
likewise. I think we've got a lot to get through in 24 hours.
Okay. I'll make some food.
Where's the reading room?
I mean, there's a tea room below our bedroom where me and Nell have slept.
Yeah, it looks like there's pillows on the floor.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, while you guys settle down to do some reading and Nell and Aqua are going to do whatever they're going to do, we'll take a quick break. Quick drink break. Go and get yourself sorted, and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I got
Oh,
a
you
drink
mean
with me.
back. Getting old.
Ah, thank you, Various. He's not here anymore.
You'll
Almost.
never know. Oh dear me, I don't know about you, but I'm just a bit tired today.
I mean, I'm surprisingly not, and I've been up since 5:15.
Oh dear.
I don't know why I was up that early.
Yeah, that's a bit much.
I went to bed at 7 yesterday and woke up at 4 this morning.
Wow.
Mm.
I think I put all my energy into Monday. And now I'm just all out. Well, I'm sad because the Formula One season is now over, and I have to wait another half a year for it to start again.
I'm not. It means like you'll be on at weekends again.
Talk about being selfish, Josh.
I know.
I know, I'll make my own Formula One season. Come play Formula One with me, Josh.
God no, that game's so in depth. I don't have the time or the patience for it.
Oh, we need to have another racing game again. Wreckfest was always good.
We had Turbo Golf Racing.
Oh god, it's not a bad game. There's just not much to it once you've played it a few times.
They're on season 2 now.
Hmm. Yeah, I just think
It's...
like these live service games, they've just never been quite the same.
Oh, I just went away for 2 minutes. What happened?
We're just being reminiscent about old school games.
Oh, if we're talking about this forge going down. Or is it just me?
Wait, that's just you.
All right,
That's
okay.
just you. Yeah.
Okay, need to log
Thank
out,
you for
apparently.
the sub, Darius.
That's okay. Right, log me out. Okay, cool.
Let's see it now. We get to the Valkyrie. Now, let me message her in her head. Fight begins.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm gonna lay low for a while.
I wonder if this Valkyrie's going to know whose armor I'm wearing.
Oh
Ooh,
Maybe.
She'd be like,
interesting.
she'll
Give
be
me
able to
back
punch
my
me in the
armor.
face. It could be hers, actually, to be fair.
Yeah,
What's that?
that's my armor.
What are you guys talking about?
Nothing. We're not
Life.
plotting any demises.
Pogs.
You're plotting pogs.
Yeah, Pogs and some good flippers.
Okay.
Can't remember what they're called.
Okay. Anyway, we return. What? Oh. Anyway, yes, we return. Both Vic and Aqua make intelligence checks for me.
Oh no.
I think they are actually our most intelligent people, so it should
I'm
be
not.
okay. Never mind.
No,
I
we're not.
didn't say anything.
Got a party of square brains. Oh wow.
It's a party of square brains and round heads.
You said Aqua. I thought you said Sköld.
I did say Sköld.
Oh, did you? I thought you said Aqua as well.
I
Honestly,
meant
I
I
thought you
meant
said Aqua.
I meant Sköld.
Okay.
Right, okay. I was about to
I'll
say
get
what.
rid
I
of
don't know
mine.
why,
I'm-
but.
There you go. I'm not as dumb as I seem.
Oh, does that mean I need to roll again then? No?
No, you're fine. It's just Sköld.
Damn.
You're
Alright,
fine.
alright.
That's why I had the rubbish book. Oh, yeah. Oh, damn.
There we go. That's so much better. I was like, wait, why is Aqua rolling? Okay. Vic. The roll isn't necessarily for your ability to read, more like what important information you gleaned from your book. Luckily, because you have the like the general knowledge book, a lot of it is kind of stuff you already kind of knew. Red dragons, fire. Blue dragons, lightning. Black dragons, poison. Yellow dragons don't exist. White dragons, ice. And green dragons, poison.
There we go.
Black and green dragon's poison?
It's acid, isn't it?
Acid. Did I say poison? I meant acid.
Yeah.
No.
I said acid, right?
No, you said poison.
God
You said
damn it.
poison.
Close enough.
I'm tired, guys.
I got a 5, so maybe it did say that.
Maybe it did. Maybe it did. But then those are the chromatic dragons. Those are the quote unquote evil dragons. Good dragons, you've got like silver dragons, copper dragons, bronze dragons, gold dragons, and copper, bronze, no, silver, bronze, gold. So I've just said it. I can't remember which one I didn't say before.
I
Copper,
think you said
bronze.
bronze twice.
Did I say copper, bronze, gold, silver? Bloody hell.
Copper.
Shut up. Please hold. Please hold. Well, that's not much help. Brass.
Brass.
Yeah.
There we go.
The
I slept
plumber.
a wooden spoon from
Literally.
the dragon.
Like the, you know, the participation medal of dragons.
Wrath, the leaky tap dragon.
And those like the metallic dragons correspond in a way to the chromatic dragons. They're just considered good. There's also another breed of dragons, less known about. There's less information about them in general, but there's gem dragons as well. Nobody really knows anything about them because they weren't part of the most recent dragon war anyway. They kind of have removed themselves into other planes of existence and have kind of slipped from memory, but there's always references here or there to things like amethyst dragons and topaz dragons and sapphire dragons and stuff like that. And they have their whole like their own sort of array of abilities and stuff. But again, little is known about it, so it's not really written down. Is there anything else you want to kind of glean from the book?
Did Aqua know that what attacked us in the water? Would it say anything about that? Because it seemed dragon-like.
Make an investigation check to try and, correlate the information you know to what's in the book. Okay. There's reference of dragon, like sea-based dragons. Some call them just sea dragons. Others call them dragon turtles. It depends on which source they're writing about at the time, but dragons in the sea is something that is, known to exist and have a place in history.
Okay. I guess the rest would be like the difference between like small dragons to ancient ones, and if there's anything major that my character can learn from that. I don't know.
Dragons live for millennia. And their aging process varies depending on what life stage they're at. For hatchlings, they are generally kept, or they're generally tolerated by their parents for up to 5 years, maybe 10 at a push for the slightly less feral. But for that, we're talking more metallic than chromatic. The chromatic dragons tend to lay their egg, let it hatch, raise them for 5 years in very poor environment, then yeet, goodbye. So once they've kind of left their nest and are on their own, they become young. But from there, it's difficult to kind of correlate when they become adults and beyond.
Okay. That's another thing that if I could get on a 5 is like, how long do eggs take to hatch?
That's something that is a bit more difficult to glean from the pages. There's very little concrete knowledge because usually when an egg is produced, there's no excuse me, there's no like exact date for when an egg is produced. And dragons tend to seclude themselves when they go through the whole process,
When they're pregante.
Yeah, exactly. So some people claim it can be up to a year. Others say it's just a few weeks. Some say it's a whole process of, you have to have the parent dragon with it, and it has to, like, literally carry it around with them for years upon years to kind of gestate, essentially. The information varies.
So if I was to take that last one for fact, there's a potential that maybe the dragon needed to have the egg with it longer. Maybe. Okay.
Maybe. Also, you could quite easily take the others for truth and say it could have hatched in weeks,
Mhm.
in the right conditions. That seems to be a fairly common consensus. There needs to be like proper conditions.
Okay.
Sköld, we move on to you. With a 16, there's a whole 4 or 5 chapters at the beginning of the book, going over that essentially almost revere Asoa herself, going over some of her like crowning moments. There was a battle at Kragmar, the city you were originally traveling to, where she essentially wiped out an entire battalion of Dragonslayer Knights herself. And some of her underlings were killed in the process, but she came out unscathed and incredibly rich. Like, she took spoils for days. There's like tales of some of her younger days when she would sort of very almost at random change her lair almost every year. She took up residence in both mountain ranges on the Northern Isle, where she would for 1 year she would be on the northern side, then she'd go to the southern tip, then she'd fly to the other side of the island and kind of keep changing place. Then there was when she flew over to the Haliasan Empire and literally took up the entire crack in the earth, which is like a huge landmark of literally just like essentially a gorge that opened up one day and no one can really explain why. She just flew in one day and said, "This is mine now," and lived there for, a couple of decades. And the towns and cities around there took centuries to recover because just of the effect of such a powerful dragon on the local area. It was bad. Each time, like, she would just find a way to have her horde follow her. So she had this huge horde that was rumored to be in the millions and millions and millions and millions of gold, like in value. And she'd always find a way to have it with her. Eventually, she took up residence in Karasgard. She found it and liked it enough that she stayed there for like pretty much permanently. And the environment of the volcano was always seemed to be quite favourable to her, for obvious reasons. The volcano became known as the Flames Dwelling purely because Asoa lived there. She was known to have a lair there, or a lair there, lair. No one knew where, because it was on the side of the island that no one really travelled to. And her influence just made the volcano very volatile. Eruptions were regular, quite common. Got worse and worse, and eventually this was what led to when she was vanquished to the dwarves completely abandoning that side of the island and coming up with their new aqueduct system, which is like revolutionary and amazing, but ultimately was caused and needed because this dragon just had such a dreadful effect on the place. So that's like the first 5 chapters of the book, and there's only like 10 chapters in all, judging from the glossary at the front and back. There's a whole chapter dedicated to a presumed history. No one's quite sure how old she is, or was. She was considered ancient, which means she's at least 1,500 years old. Like well into the sort of upper echelons of age. She was old by ancient standards, let's put it that way. Wreaking havoc on society for God knows how long. When she arrived on the island, she was already ancient. That's how old she is. She's came from far away. I guess in terms of battles, she was undefeated, but it's difficult to fight a clear pitched battle against a dragon. But she was able to raise minions and underlings from even the most unusual of places. Kobolds were a common place in pretty much anywhere she layered up. And speculation as to potentially there still being some around. But unsubstantiated. She was able to bring elementals and rumored even fire giants onto her side. They were quite common sights in her invasions and just raids. If she got angry, she could summon these kind of creatures just in a stroke. Yeah, no one was ever sure where they came from because she could just essentially click her fingers and they'd appear. And up until about 600 years ago when she was defeated. And there's no record of no known record, reliable record of who actually struck the blow that killed her. But her heart was the prize, And then there's more. There's the following chapters go into a bit of speculation, a bit of hearsay into potential offspring, into potentially she's not dead. Maybe she escaped somehow. All sort of taken with a pinch of salt by the author. There's no shred of evidence she was seen to be defeated. She was seen falling into the volcano. Her heart has been on display for 600 years in the palace of Keir Doral, obviously she's dead. And there's an interesting passage that I need you to roll an investigation check for.
Boom.
Nice. There's an interesting passage. It's almost like an epilogue of sorts. The epilogue is titled A Sower's Plan? ? And it goes into this is the most speculative chapter of them all. It's only 3 pages long. And it's the author's hypothesis on what she was looking to achieve. There's theories going around of something beyond ancient dragons. Something mythical, legendary, false, not real. Who knows? Almost like it's likened to lichdom for a wizard, where they're not satisfied with what they've got, so they want more. How does one transcend ancient dragon? There's no answers, but it's speculation in the purest of terms. And that's where the book ends.
So, a lot of personal opinion, a lot of speculation.
Yeah.
But not much in the way of concrete answer.
No.
Whoever wrote this university book really should not work at a university because a lot of speculation is not factual.
Well, I was going to ask, who are the authors of these books? Well, especially the Sire one, actually.
Strangely, there's no author written or claimed.
I guess I'll just share knowledge of what I found, and
Yeah. Do a
if you do the same.
summary.
Yeah, if you do the same, I'd probably say to you, do you think there's a chance that Sarah wanted to, if this speculation could be right at the end, do you think there's a chance that maybe she wanted to become past ancient, realize that she was gonna die and somehow escaped and has been hiding?
Well, my immediate thought is maybe some form of reincarnation. You know, if she was going to die, or maybe it was her plan all along to fly into the volcano and getting reincarnated. It's all myth and legend, so maybe she wasn't actually defeated. Maybe she did it of her own accord.
Her body was never recovered, was it? It flew
No.
into the volcano, and that's all we knew.
Not the whole body, anyway. They say that the beanbag is the heart, but I don't think anybody saw the body. Apart from, well, speculatively, those who got the what we now know as the egg.
A lot of reading for one day.
But yeah, a lot of speculation. Doesn't clear up much, but it gives us a bit of, well, potential reasons. But again, yeah, nothing concrete.
Aqua and Nell, is there anything you wanted to do today while the other two were reading?
No, I Nell took a nap in the meantime. Nell did some dinner, would have brought everyone some dinner who was reading and doing the studying, and then she was just puttering around, trying not to focus too much on what happened last night.
Okay. Aqua?
Yeah. Aqua wasn't doing much, just potting around, checking out the scenery, and just kind of walking around, sort of headbutting walls because he's bored. Boring day for him.
The two of you particularly notice that there is probably about 4 or 5 fairly major tremors during the day.
Okay.
But other than that, if you're not leaving the compound, then nothing else particularly happens.
No dwarves?
No dwarves.
Fair enough. Got rid of them, didn't it?
In the evening, when the two of them recover or come out of being nerds and reading their books, Nell would go up to Sköld and just ask him, Sköld, do you know of any shops where I could buy spell scrolls in the city?
There'll definitely be a few places which sell magical items such as scrolls and artifacts. Let me see. I think I remember one in particular. As I scroll through my notes, let me see if I have the name to hand. You might be able to find something from Oland's Outstanding Obscurities. There's lots of interesting things there, but it's not specifically a magic shop. But you may have something.
Okay. Maybe we can go there tomorrow in a day or two.
Yeah, I'll come with you for that. See if they got any knickknacks that I can drink. I am running out of potions.
I like drink is the preferred use.
I drink a lot of things, I find.
Yeah, it'd be good to see if he has anything for all of us. I mean, I'm quite well equipped at the moment, I will admit. I'm very pleased with this armor that I bought. But, you never know when you can improve.
Okay. As the 4 of you settle down, you get your long rests again throughout the night. Nothing overtly interesting happens overnight. And we come back round to the next day.
Oh,
I know. Sun rises on the horizon.
I would have been in my room, but
That's okay. Don't worry.
has the water been dealt with at all? Has it like sunken down? As
Throughout the course of yesterday and overnight, has mostly soaked into the grass. But there's only so far it can go because the city is made of stone. Like, there's not many places for it to drain.
I get
So there's no longer like a flood, but the grass is very soggy and a bit.
better.
What's the weather like?
Temperate. A bit windy, bit of a breeze. It's not too cold or what. It's like that sort of in between temperature. But there's almost always a sort of faint. Like there's always a faint smell of smoke and kind of sulfurish magma in the air. But depending on which way the wind direction is, it could be worse or less, you know. But since
It'll
you've been
dry up
here,
in a couple of days. Yeah,
since you've been here, it's been fairly dry.
it'll dry up in a couple of days. We don't have to worry about it. The wind and the temperature will make it dry up in 2 or 3 days.
Yeah. Okay. We need to take his books back today, Sköld.
Yeah, so we'll stop by Bjorn to give back the books and
Maybe we can go to the Olin's Outstanding Obscurity shop, and then if you guys want to go to the Valkyrie.
seems like a good plan for the day.
Oh, by the way, did you guys find out what dragon controls grass?
Oh, none of them.
Oh. So what does the green dragon control?
The green one was poison.
So what controls grass? I must
um,
find this out.
The sun?
The sun.
Aqua stares at the sun.
Uh-oh.
Roll a Constitution saving throw. You manage to stare directly at the sun, and for a solid 30 seconds, you're just like, doesn't look like a dragon. And then you look away, and your eyes are just stars, like you're completely dazed. You can
think to myself, well played. Well played.
Well played, sun dragon. Well played.
In this time, can I, like, knowing how it happened last time, can I pluck one of his, while he's blind, pluck one of his feathers from his beard and, like, tickle it under his nose?
Sure, make a quick sleight of hand check. It's very low DC.
By a hand, I'm blinded.
It's a low DC. Oh yeah, just like yoink. Aqua, you feel a bit of a tug against your chin, and then a bit of a tickle under your nose. Make a Constitution saving throw.
I beat the sun. I can beat this.
You feel the nose. You feel the feather tickling under your nose, and you just kind of swat it away. You're fine. No sneezing for you.
Beard lives.
Like, we'll guess you one time, and I'll just throw the feather.
We'll need new character art for Aqua.
Nah, we'll just put like one of those glasses with a nose and a mustache thing on it. It'll be fine. Okay, so are you heading off into town?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Um,
I'm going to lock up after ourselves as well.
Vic and Sköld, a bit more used to walking around the city. You lead Aqua and Nell back to Bjorn's books. It's currently closed. It's later in the day than when you visited yesterday, but there is a note on the door, out on business. And then in slightly smaller writing underneath, Vic, if you are reading this, do not fear. I have not abandoned you. I am extending the lease of the books for an extra day until I return from my important quest. When I return, I will inquire about your availability, for I think if I succeed, you will be interested in what I have come to learn. Written, like, in beautiful cursive. Very dramatic, eloquent.
Hearts over the eyes.
Yep, literally.
Do we all see this note, or
No, it's there. It's there for everyone to see.
okay? I was seeing if I can get away with saying it was addressed to Sköld, but apparently
Nope.
not.
Quite clearly says Vic.
Okay, well, maybe we have to wait around another day then, because if they've got some good information for us, they already had some very good information about the Valkyrie, and I want to return these books. We should probably hold off another day.
Go to the Valkyrie?
We
Well,
can
it takes a
always
day
go-
to get there.
We could
Oh.
just go to the other shop with the mystical items first, and then.
Well,
I
they
mean,
might,
if
seems
yeah,
like they
if
might
we
be all
would,
day. Annoyingly, we could leave the books with someone else, but I don't know who. I don't want to.
can we just put the books in the bag of holding, keep them there, and like if we return tomorrow evening, I'm sure Björn will be back and we can talk to them then.
What for return from where?
Wherever, if we go to the Valkyrie today, it takes us a day. We arrive in the evening at the Valkyrie's place and then come back tomorrow.
I
Or
thought
we,
if it's a
yeah.
full day, it'll be arrived this time tomorrow. I don't know. Is it a full day's travel or a full day away?
You don't know. You haven't been.
I thought Meglo said a half a day.
I did, and then I looked at the map as I was describing it, and I was like, that's not right.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's correct.
So there was
But,
there was a literal pause as I was explaining it, and just being like, hang on a second, that is wrong.
so there and back then to 2 days plus whatever else happens there or on the way could end up being a lot longer than.
All right, then change of plan. We go to the other shop, and maybe we can find someone to talk to in the city for today. Maybe we leave a note for Björn and say he should come by. They should come by our house when they're back, so we can talk to them.
Okay. Did we want to talk to someone who was guarding the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Could
something.
do that today as well.
Or just make a good standing with the ruling family, something like that. Just get a foot in, so we can gather information in the next few days.
Oh, he's had some problems.
Yeah, Josh's internet crashed.
Oh no, not again.
Quick, yank his beard out.
No, you're not touching Josh while he's not here.
Okay, so we're going to go to like an oddity shop, and then we can maybe see if we can inquire about people who were here when it got stolen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Deal.
Find out. We don't even know when it got stolen, so maybe that's a good place to start as well. Like, what's the timeline? When did it get stolen?
Mhm.
Who was in the city at that point? Any shady figures around? And so on and so on.
Maybe there's like a posted information things around saying, like, have you seen this, or any information about this on this date.
Yeah. Also, I would like to have a quick look at the bounty, if there's a bounty board in Kidderell, in an official building or any of the taverns or inns. I want to see if there's any bounties out on anyone or anything.
Okay. Make a quick history check with advantage, because it was literally like 2 days ago.
Who? What?
You.
Why? What for?
Because I said so, Yathina.
Okay, I'm confused. I didn't realize I said anything that required a history check.
You remember that 2 days ago, when you were in the city hall, there was something resembling a board of bounties.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't
Okay,
that bad.
then.
Not every roll I
Oh.
ask for is bad, Yathina.
No. I was legit just so confused because I was like, did I ask anything history related, but no, it makes sense now. Sorry. City Hall, but okay. Okay, so we want to go to the City Hall. We want to go to the Olin's Outstanding Obscurities, and then we see where we go from there.
Okay, so whichever's closest we'll go to first, I guess.
Okay. Sköld, make a quick we'll call it a navigation check, but it's basically survival, but with your intelligence stat instead of your wisdom.
Is it with advantage because we're the navigators?
No.
Oh.
So I might as well just do an investigation check because my intelligence is 0. And I mean,
Okay. Make an investigation check. You vaguely remember where the Outstanding Oddity shop is. You're pretty sure in the grand scheme it's closer than the City Hall. So you start heading that way. And as you are walking, more and more familiarity with the city comes back to you, and there's a few there's a couple of like hesitant moments where you take a wrong turn and you kind of have to turn back and go back. But eventually you come to this shop that is basically standing on its own. It looks like it's one of the very few buildings in this whole city that isn't carved from the mountain itself. It's a stone building that's kind of like resting on a platform, almost like stilts essentially, made of a different stone. It looks like the building's made of sort of sandstone or limestone, something like that, which is odd. But the stilts are made of marble. And it's got these really ornate marble staircase up to the door, which is only about 10 feet up. But the edges of the marble stairs distort in on themselves, so there's only really like a 5-foot pathway up. And as you ascend the stairs, there's a door in front of you that is made of wood, which, you know, it's impressive. It's a sign of wealth. And adorned on it in a language none of you understand. It's just symbols.
Okay.
does anybody know how to translate?
No, but it'll be fine, and I just walk in.
Okay, make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh god.
Okay.
It's fine, guys.
As Nell's just like, it'll be fine. She opens the door, walks in, and then almost it's like she takes one step into the room inside, which kind of hits you with like a very cinnamon apple type smell. Just wafts over you like kind of pretty intense heat. But then now it's like, that'll be fine, takes one step, and then a tripwire just like rises from the ground and catches her foot, and she just goes arse over tea kettle and lands on her back. And from inside you just hear howls of laughter.
Having taken like a little bit of a dignity damage.
Oh yeah. Sorry. You take 6 points of dignity damage.
I get up, I brush myself off, I clear my throat. Okay. Everything is fine, guys. I tested it out for you. It works.
Well, someone had to.
Are you following?
Yes, but very cautious.
Who's next?
I'll follow.
Aqua. You're not in the game, are you? It says you can't log in.
No.
So you're making a dexterity saving throw. 12. You,
Okay.
as you take a step in, kind of trying to avoid Nell, who is like pulling herself pulling herself off the ground. The same tripwire rises up, catches your foot, and you also fall. You also take 2 points of dignity damage. No actual damage, just dignity damage.
Oh, I guess now never cleared it. He's lying, guys.
That is quite an interesting way to deal with new customers. Yeah. Hi, is anyone around?
Yes.
Hey, can I see them?
You look around and you see 6 walls. It's almost like a hexagon shape.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like obviously the outside walls, and then there's a sort of divider wall down the middle. Each wall is a mirror. There's the room you've walked into is empty, except for like the divider wall, sort of ahead of you by 10 feet. It's not very big. It's probably about 15 feet from like the center outwards. The room, that is. So it's 30 foot one into the other. And the voice seems to come, like, it seems to either be one voice or dozens from like every single angle all around you.
Hello? I wanted to buy something. I'm not sure if I'm in the right place.
Well, how would I know if you're in the right place?
Do you sell magical items?
I sell items. Some are magical, cool. Some are not. Tot.
Okay, do you have spell scrolls?
Maybe.
I would like to buy some spell scrolls.
All you need to do is knock.
Oh, I step back outside and I knock on the door.
As you knock on the door,
Yeah.
the words on the door reorganize. Basically, they're just written in common, but they're sort of distorted upside down and back to front. And it just says, all you need to do is knock.
Okay.
And the door swings open again. And this time the room inside is the same shape, mirrors all around. There's still the divider wall, but this time there's just shelves, tables, there's footstools with things piled on top of them. There's like 2 or 3 different sort of verandas with like overlooking balconies, essentially, with just more stuff piled everywhere. It's chaotic.
I must say, quite the interesting business plan you have here.
What would you
Making it-
expect from a shop called Oddities?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Outstanding
spell scrolls.
obscurities. Ah, yes, spell scrolls. Got loads of those.
Cool. I would like to purchase quite a few of those, if possible.
Well, what spells would you like? I have some.
Let me just open my spells list. Okay, question. I could potentially purchase spell scrolls of higher spells, right? If they have it, obviously.
Doesn't
That I-
necessarily mean you can use them. I think you have to roll
No,
with
but I
it
could-
higher level.
Okay. Okay. Do you have spell scrolls for the sending spell?
Yes,
Can I have 3 of those?
that'll be 3 silver.
Can I have 6 of those, please?
That'll be 14 gold.
Okay, I'll go back to 3 then.
They're very useful. They They're sendable everywhere. You just give them to someone and they run off and deliver them to where you need to go.
Wait, what? No.
Oh, you mean the spell?
Yes.
Ah, sorry. Easy mistake to make. Easy peasy. You haven't seen this person, by the way. Like,
Yeah,
there's
that's
just
fine.
a disembodied voice around the shop. You hear some little feet pitter pattering, and then this little halfling, and I mean little, like little for a halfling, appears out of one of the behind one of the shelves, like hair just out to here, like massive, overgrown mop of hair. Face looks a bit disheveled, and just like, yes. The sending spell. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yes. I get confused with a lot of things. Yes. This. How many?
3?
3. Excellent. Let me just have a look. And they kind of pitch patter off again. And you just hear, yes. There they are. Scrolls. And he comes, like, you just hear something scraping along the floor. Like, not what you would expect a scroll to sound like. And it soon becomes apparent as the scraping gets closer. The halfling appears from around the corner, and he's got this massive chest. And considering like this halfling's probably only topping 2.5 feet tall, this chest is at least 4 feet tall and already 6 foot wide. Looks very heavy. He flings the lid open and just kind of dives in. And all you just hear.
Okay. 3 spell scrolls of sending, please. I don't know what you said. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should
Yeah.
join them in there.
Yeah,
It'd
you
probably
might have
be
to go
easier.
in there. Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, I'll go over to him and I dive into it and try and join him.
You just hear a scream, and then the rest of you just, well, naturally, you don't. You just hear a scream. And the halfling jumps out. What on earth are you doing?
I don't know. My friend said I should come over. I couldn't understand what he's saying. Sorry.
I was just asking how your day's been.
Oh, great. Fantastic. We just rented a house in the city. It's gorgeous. A little bit wet, but it's awesome.
And you thought to jump into my crate?
I don't know. I look over at Vic and Sköld.
I
I
mean,
don't
Very
know.
forward.
everybody knows, you shouldn't rummage around in someone else's trunk. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta keep your hands off the chest.
That'll be 200 gold. The 3 spell scrolls.
Okay. Do you also have spell scrolls to cast something that can stop another spell?
Stop how?
Let's say if I were to cast a spell and one of my friends wants
back.
I don't want to cast a spell right now. And one of my friends wants to stop me casting a spell. Or wants to stop me to cast that particular spell. Is there anything that you have that could stop that? Something that would counter
Just the thing.
spell.
I have just the thing. And he turns and runs away. And comes back. You just hear something scraping along the floor again. And as he reappears out from a door behind, like sort of around the corner, he's just got this massive long greatsword. About 7 feet long. Beautiful intricate blade, like slightly like sort of wavy edge to it. Beautifully engraved pommel and guard. This ought to do the trick. A bit pricey.
Yeah.
Looks a bit small. Look, you look a bit small for it, but give it a good go.
No.
You know, swipe hard, you'll get them.
No. I'm looking for a spell scroll.
Oh. Well, I don't have great swords and spell scrolls. I'm sorry.
No, for
I know I
for
have
something
outstanding obscurities, but that's a bit of a stretch for me.
a spell scroll for something that could counter another spell.
Sounds a bit advanced. Are you sure you're okay with that?
Yeah, it should be just about my alley.
Interesting. Well, I have one scroll that might do the trick. It's a 3rd level spell. Fairly high level, quite powerful.
Yeah.
You could use that. And he pulls it out and hands it to you. That'll be another 50 gold.
Is it counter spell?
You don't know. It doesn't say anything on the scroll.
Okay, I was just writing it down. Okay, I give him another 50 gold.
Okay.
6, 7. Also, and I pull off one of my rings. How much for this? How much would you give me for this? And I particularly pull off the mind shielding ring.
What is it?
It's a ring that can protect you from other people reading your thoughts.
Interesting. 2 gold, I guess. I don't know. I'm not...
I think it's a little bit more valuable. I don't remember what I paid for it. I think I paid like 100 gold for it. I would give it to you for 50. Or maybe we could trade it for something. You give me something cool, and you can have the ring.
Okay.
How about this immovable rod?
Yathina,
Yes.
roll a D100 for me.
I also like to ask this person what their name is and see if they actually are the proprietor of this
Well,
shop.
here's the interesting thing. Everyone who hasn't entered the shop yet, i.e. the rest of you, can't actually see what's going on. You can just see Nell talking to herself.
Right, I guess I want to enter the shop and knock as I go,
Okay.
in case it matters.
The halfling turns and sort of bounds off around the corner. I have these. And he pulls out like 2 bracelets.
What do they do?
Well, they're bracelets, and you wear them, and they're bonded slightly. It's a way of keeping track of people. I don't really know. I don't really have any friends to use it with. It kind of doesn't work when you just wear them yourself.
Yeah, I'll take them. That sounds cool. Thank you very much. Also, and I lower my voice. Do you happen to have the potion that can turn you into a dragon?
I have a potion that'll make you believe you're a dragon.
And some spices that make you chase the dragon.
As you enter the shop, Vic, the halfling turns and looks. Oh my god, 2 customers in a day. This hasn't happened for decades. Welcome.
I guess are you the proprietor?
Yes,
What was your name? Sorry.
Olin.
Yes, the one the
Junior.
outside.
Why You
Or
both spoke at the same time. I don't know what you said.
Sorry.
I'm very nervous.
deep breaths. That'll do it. That'll be fine. So I'm just gonna browse while you speak to my friend now.
Okay. So yeah, I give him the ring and I take the 2 bracelets.
Okay. The bracelets are fairly simple. They're mostly gold, but they seem to have like a silver inlay that kind of spirals around it.
Okay.
It's simple but pretty.
Okay.
As you look around, Vic, there is just all sorts. Some things that are, like quite clearly broken. Like the equivalent of essentially just being snapped in half or just like bits missing, chipped and cracked and all sorts. There are some things that look to be in pristine condition, but it's not really easy to tell what they are necessarily. It's a weird one.
Okay.
I'm gonna knock and go in.
Okay. You see the same thing, Aqua.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Nell to be done, and I might ask.
Oh yeah, if he doesn't have any dragon breath potions, then thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And I step back and let the others do their thing.
There's a third customer. Hello. This is more customers than I've had in the last year.
Why is that?
Really?
Welcome.
I
So,
could not imagine why.
Olen's outstanding obscurities. I am Olen. And I... Nope, I'm not saying it. I'm Olen, and this is my shop. Please enjoy and spend all your money.
How am I meant to find anything in this place? Or do you find it for me?
What do you mean? It's all very clearly organised.
Clearly. Have you got any potions?
I have many potions. What would you like?
I'm not really in for anything particular. Kind of stuff that just will have random effects on the area. Or me.
I think I have what you're talking about. And he goes and off. It just runs off, and you just hear a clang and a smash. Oh shit! I'll deal with it later. And then comes like back around the corner. I have this one. I have this one.
And how
It's-
much would that one be?
I don't really know. I never really thought anyone would want to buy it, but
Okay, what is it?
it's a potion that I made. I'm not really sure what it does, but it sounds like it
But
fits what you're after.
how about we say 10 gold?
Deal.
8 gold.
No. We already agreed on a deal.
Shit. Fine, I'll take it and give him the 10 gold.
Okay. You take it and give him the 10 gold. And you get this potion that's almost layered in different colours. You've got like a sludgy brown colour at the bottom. And it kind of turns into a more greeny colour above it. Then there's like a yellow gloop, almost like custard. And on the top there's just like an oily substance. It's kind of red.
I look at it and I was like, this is either going to kill me or turn me into a god. I can't wait to find out. Pocket it.
Okay. I wasn't laughing.
Really? Aqua randomly has this weird suspicion for it now.
Vic, is there anything particular you're looking for?
This is a store of oddities, yes?
Indeed.
What's the most peculiar thing you have?
Roll a d100 and re-roll 15s. 13, sorry. 5. I am. Oh. Say that. This one's a long run. Runs off. He's gone for a solid like 3 minutes. And then comes back. And he just holds up this really long arrow. I have this! Huzzah!
Okay.
It's
Explain.
an arrow that if you hit it, there's a fanfare.
A what?
A fanfare. You get
Like
celebrations.
trumpets?
Trumpets, confetti. It's basically a parade. I used it
Wait.
once. It was very
Oh,
exciting.
it's reusable.
Hmm?
What? So I have to shoot it from a bow, though, or
Well, yes, obviously.
should I
do you-
throw it?
I mean, you'd probably blunt it. It does need some oomph to it.
You don't know how strong he is, though.
I can see. He's like this to you. Literally just like neck straight back looking up at you.
Right. So it creates a fanfare.
Yes. Imagine the possibilities.
That's limited uses. How much would you want for it?
4 gold.
You drive a hard bargain, I think, but out of respect, I
5 gold.
Well, that's
I'm joking. 4 gold.
okay. Yeah, sure. For 4 gold, I'll have that. And if you have any healing potions specifically, I'd be interested in some.
How stable would you like the healing potions to be?
Pretty stable, ideally.
Then no.
Are they? Oh. Are they
Aqua
cheaper if they're
has
risky?
worry on his face now.
They are cheaper.
But they might not work.
Well, in my testing, they work. But you might grow an extra arm.
That could be handy.
2 swords and a shield.
Dushed.
I'll pass. I don't know if any of my
2 gold for 1.
colleagues. I mean, if is it a permanent extra arm potentially?
Do you see any more arms on me?
I don't know.
No. I don't have any more arms.
I'm fine, thank you. I'll just take the arrow for 4 gold, thank you.
If you insist. How about you 3? 2.
Yes, I'm Sköld.
Gold's not there.
I have so many healing potions. I don't need any right now.
You don't have any healing potions like these?
Yeah, I'll pass. Actually, I won't pass. You know what? I want to play a game.
Oh god.
I was going to play a game.
You were going to play a game, then you start playing your game because I already bought something. So you do first and then I go.
I was hoping we play a game of dice with Vic's dice, and then whoever wins gets to choose an item from this shop.
Do you have
You
any
see
magic dice?
Magic dice?
We
What do you
could
take me
play-
for? Some kind of criminal?
Oh. not open
Trust
up,
me,
okay.
Vic wouldn't need them. He loses every single game.
I don't,
mean-
okay, yeah.
I think he's won like once, but that's not conic. That doesn't count.
That's not canon.
Mm.
I mean, I was going to give you 100 gold and let you choose 3 random items to give me. Just because I like random things and I like knickknacks and I like things that are fun.
That works too. I guess.
Okay. You have my interest.
Yeah, I'll put 100 gold on the. I assume there's a counter or something.
Oh, there are. Not exactly. You have to clear a space. But you just throw
Fine.
away some of like the broken stuff.
Yeah.
You put the 100 gold down. He eyes it.
I put an extra 10 on top. Make it 4 items.
Interesting. Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. All right. Back.
I leave the shop. I'm gonna go see Sköld.
I won't blow up the shop, I promise.
Okay. Nell rolled 3d100 separately, so one after the other.
Yeah.
Roll again.
Oh, okay. I'll roll an extra one.
44 and 32, 41.
What was 7?
It was another arrow, but it was boring.
Okay.
Okay. He comes out. The first thing that the halfling is holding is just like beautiful ruby carving of a chicken.
Honestly, it's so beautiful.
It is. Despite there being no light source in the room, like there's light just glinting off it. Very pretty. And he holds it to you and says, "Here's your first one." And then sort of turns and runs off and grabs another, goes looking for another thing. And please hold while I just add this to your list. Okay. Ruby chicken added. What was the next number? 44. All right. He comes back the second time with what looks to be just a normal looking slingshot. This may look boring, but has an interesting effect. I'll leave you to work that one out. Like the whole time he's just chuckling to himself. He's having a great time. And then okay. You up there. Blah, 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 blah. All right, what was the next number?
41.
41. Oh, okay. The next item he comes out with is another pear. This time he comes out with 2 human hands.
Oh god.
Okay.
Don't be alarmed. They're not
I'm
as bad as
not.
they look.
At least I have something for my bracelets.
No,
What do they do?
I'm not. That's not part of the game.
Okay. All right.
Aqua. They're back scratchers. That's what they are.
And then Aqua, roll a D100 for me.
He's just clearing out some of his crap.
Probably. Yeah. The stuff that I got probably is not worth 100 gold, but it's fine. That was the risk that I was taking.
Okay. Aqua, for your
Yes.
10 gold, he runs away giggling to himself. And then when he returns, he's looking a bit perturbed. But also, you know, he just sort of walks back into the room. Quite an interesting item. I'm sure you'll find use for it. I'm kind of sorry to see it go. And just hands you like a little notebook, basically. It's just a sort of. It's got scribbles in it. It's like someone's pocketbook, basically. And it's called Les Stroud's Pocket Guide to Adventuring.
Has it got pictures in?
I was about to say, he can't read.
And I flipped through it. Has it got pictures in?
It has a few very small illustrations, but not enough for you to sort of discern any kind of context.
Well, I'll swap you. Which one do you want? The ruby, the slingshot, or the human hands? Or you can keep yours. I'm just saying.
I mean, I was gonna probably hand it to Sköld as say sorry for killing the fish. But if you want to trade, I'll take the slingshot.
You can have the slingshot.
Yeah, we trade.
Okay. Is that everything for you?
Yes, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Actually, has been quite fun.
Please feel free to return. I don't get many visitors. Ever.
You know what? If I can give you some advice, maybe clear up that writing on the on top of the door.
Why? That's part of the
People
fun.
know. Yeah, I know, but if people can't find you, they can't spend any money in here.
But fun.
I mean, if you. But where's the fun if no one comes in?
It does get very lonely.
We'll be back, don't worry. We'll be back in a few days. I'm sure we will always have the need for more potions.
I have many potions. I made lots myself. I look forward to you finding out what they do.
Concerns me, but drink it thinking of you, little man, and walk out.
Very well. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
On a side note, I realise I don't have my cape of protection, was it before? And my other things that I was wearing.
Well, that was silly. What'd you do that for?
I've been walking around naked this whole time.
It's just how they walk around in Karakar.
Okay. Well, that's a problem I can solve for you after the session. You'll just have to remind me what you needed.
Okay.
Do you have my thing after the session as well, the arrow thing?
Yes. Just remind, at the end of the session, remind me what you bought, and I'll put them in for you. Okay. Where to next?
Didn't we want to go to the city hall? Yeah.
Yeah.
City Hall. Okay. The city hall's kind of back on yourself, and then up into the center of the city. Again, up and down staircases like you would not believe. It gets pretty intense. It's definitely a calf workout. Especially Aqua and Nell, who are less inclined to physical fitness, I guess. Your calves are burning right now. It's pretty painful.
Yeah.
But ultimately, You make your way back to the familiar open courtyard of the interior of the city. I will bring up a representative map so that we can change things up a little bit. Remembering that this map isn't necessarily to scale and accurate, but
I have no vision.
yes, because you're not there yet.
I like to keep you informed.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you all arrive back in the courtyard. The buildings around this, the city hall, and this building in the centre is the city hall, as you might expect. I mean, you can move around, but it's not exactly accurate. It's just there for you to look at.
Yeah.
And as you walk around the square, there's people milling around. Like dwarves are hollering for some sales, and there's a few other outsiders with their accompanying dwarves. Keeping a watch and just interacting. It's quite a chilled atmosphere. It's very pleasant. Nell, you remember seeing something akin to a bounty board, just inside the main court. Just outside the main door of the city hall. The city hall inside is like dedicated purely to bureaucracy. Outside is where the fun begins, So, just outside the main door is the bounty board. It's a big board with just postings sort of splayed around everywhere, and it's quite well populated.
Is it written in Dwarvish or in Common?
Dwarvish, obviously. Come on.
Well,
Hey.
Sköld, be my guest.
Okay, I can go and translate the bounty board to see what's on offer.
You don't have to translate it, just look for anything that might be related to the beanbag.
I'll go with, because I can read as well.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
Both or advantage for Sköld?
Whichever you prefer.
Both, why not?
Both do it.
Noise. Not noise.
Sköld, being more native to dwarf societies, you kind of can get a grip of the chaos a bit quicker, whereas Vic is very much sort of, you're overwhelmed by just all of the postings being placed on top of each other and overlapping. It's a bit chaotic.
It's the special dialect.
Yeah, exactly. It's a dialect of Karasgard, And Sköld, you don't see anything particularly related to the beanbag necessarily. A lot of them are just sort of caravan guards for, caravans. Some of them literally going from sort of Kir Doral in the centre of Karasgard all the way over to places and peoples like the Alulak on the other side of the Northern Island. Some going down south into the Haliasan Empire, that sort of thing. There's a few that are looking for recruits to take up the guard posts on the north and south of the island. And then there's a few that are sort of looking for they're just kind of looking for odds and sods jobs, little beasties here and there that are causing a bit of trouble. That are just off the beaten path, so they're not in the purview of the outpost watchers, but can still cause trouble for anyone who wanders.
Yeah.
But there's no mention of dragon eggs or dragons. It would probably be, you would imagine that something this serious would either be kept under wraps, which is what seems to be happening anyway currently, Like, they're not going to just hire a random mercenary group to try and get the heart back.
Yeah, I was
But-
more aiming for special people that are being looked for or something.
Mhm.
Like someone's
Yeah.
for something shady or something.
No, nothing like that either.
Okay.
Most of them are literally just kind of trade caravan guards, that sort of thing.
So nothing related to any crimes, no break-ins, no hostage situations, no robberies, nothing.
Not really. There's no out and out criminal underground here.
Okay.
Like, Sköld would know and could probably explain it, but crime here is very political in nature. So it's mostly just corruption in politics. That old chestnut, where if someone wants something, if like a politician wants someone killed, then they'll put out feelers for assassins.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be on the bounty board, or even political crime wouldn't be on the bounty board. Everything would be sorted out internally, either internally or without the public ever knowing. Okay.
It's not like organized crime. It's all very kind of backhanded, that sort of thing, espionage-esque.
Oh, do you have family in this city?
Not in kid around, but in the smaller towns around.
How many people in the city know who you are?
I wouldn't say many. It's quite a big city.
As you say that, someone behind you goes, "Sköld, my old chap." Nah, I'm joking.
That goes that idea.
No, that's fine. It doesn't. That doesn't happen.
Thank goodness.
Okay. All right. We'll keep that in mind.
So, do we want to wait after we've seen our friend at the coast, or we could get some very good, clear information from them, or is there someone in the city that Sköld you could like lead us to, and we could maybe say that we represent Jambari, and we can maybe have a conversation about it, because obviously that would be the higher ups who probably know it's happened anyway.
Yeah, so require talking to some quite senior people, I think.
I would very much like to know what the relationship between Jambari and the dwarves is. I know she said they're on friendly terms. They kept the heart of the dragon, or the heart of the Soa, for safekeeping, and people from Orkberg, the Dragonslayer Knights, helped out and everything, but I want to know what if the relationship is good. This is not a question to the DM. This is Nell's musing. If the relationship is good, then we have the opportunity to really literally flash her name and say, hey, we are here under Jambari's orders. We want to see what happened to the egg. But if the relationship isn't good, we need to be a little bit more stealthy about it.
Yeah, we got to sneak in though, are we? Look at us. We might as well just try to get an audience as high as a person as we can.
Let's try and do it above board first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we sneak.
But yes, who to talk to about getting an audience with one of the custodians is difficult one. Maybe we can ask someone in the town hall, but yes, we don't want to appear too suspicious.
Where is it kept?
Well, it's kept very close to the central palace.
Can we go to the palace?
Yeah, let's go to the palace and at least have a look around.
We could let on to someone who looks at them, because if they're there and they know it's not there, because most of the guards there would know. We could let on that we know and who we're seeing, who we're coming from, and who's we're representing. We've got these little sigil things, haven't we? Might get us through a few doors and then speak to someone of importance.
Yeah, sounds good.
Pokemon.
Okay, after you
Did
Sköld.
I miss anything regarding that?
No, you seemed to have seemed pretty good.
Cool.
Seemed pretty good. Fairly comprehensive. I'm impressed. Okay, so you're heading off to the palace.
Yes.
Cool. This is a bit more of an intricate journey because you get to the palace, which is kind of set against the mountain at the back wall of the city, where most of the Envelium, forges are. You have to go through the depths of the city, basically right through the center, and it's a long walk. It's surprisingly big. Big city. And once you get kind of the further down you go, the more difficult it is to kind of judge where you're going, because the city just becomes so overbuilt and overhanging that you have no real view of the sky or anything like that. But eventually, a few hours later, you make your way.
2 hours?
Yeah, like I just said, it's a big city. It takes a few hours to cross.
Jesus Christ, okay.
We need to kill the day anyway.
Yeah.
Imagine listening to what I say.
I did
Yathina.
listen. I did listen to you, but a few hours still surprised me.
Yeah, a few hours later, you you're outside the walls of the palace, and like Sköld, you kind of know, you've never been here yourself, but you know roughly that the palace is sort of 10% of it is outside the mountain, and then the rest of it is built into the mountain and is difficult to like tell how big it actually is in terms of scale. No one's quite sure, just like how far into the mountain it goes. You approach, and at the foot, like in front of the door, there's 2 dwarven guards dressed in like very heavy plate mail armor, helmets covering their face, and they're both holding halberds that are to their side, like they're holding them to their side. And halberds are tall, dwarves are not. They're literally dwarfing them. And as you approach, you're not allowed to enter unless you have permission.
We were wondering if we could have an audience with someone that may be able to help with our investigation. We're on. What's what I'm looking for? We are hired by Jambari. I've forgotten what her title is.
Heavenly Lady.
That's the one.
What's a heavenly lady?
I show him our badge of office, or whatever we call it.
But I don't know what that is, but stay there. And then there's just like a doom, doom, doom against this supposedly stone door that Sköld, you can tell there's like some kind of metal plating inside that is there to reinforce. A few moments pass, and then a slot opens from with no seam, much like you've seen previously with pretty much every other door in the any other stone door. A seam appears and a slot opens, and another dwarf's head pokes through. Kind of listens, and the dwarf that you were talking to through the plate helmet whispers something, and then the slot slides shut. A few minutes pass, the whole time, like the guards completely blank you from here. They just don't respond or don't acknowledge you. Sorry. 20 minutes pass, and then the slot side slides open again. More whispering. It would appear your name dropping has got you an audience. You will be escorted into the palace. No funny business, otherwise you will not survive. Do you understand me?
Unexpected any from. Yeah.
Good. Now, if you'll follow me. The doors swing inwards. Thanks, dog. Swing inwards and just reveal inside like this open cavern of ornate stone carvings all over. The floor has been crafted to look like tiles, but you can see that actually it is just one solid bit of stone. That like there's just been engraved. There are torches along pillars through the center of the room that brighten the area, illuminate the area, and there's like gems been inlaid into the stone in various points to reflect the light, and it gives off an almost ethereal look to the place. And you are just taken straight through the hall. And then at the end of the hall, you come to essentially what looks to be a sort of empty wall. As tapestries on one side and the other, depicting great dwarves doing great deeds. Sköld, you know some of the stories vaguely. Dwarves are very good at celebrating themselves. And then there's sort of like a big thud on the door. And then the doors open. And you can see inside. You can't see inside because I haven't brought you to the bloody map. Hang on. You can see inside. Oh, jeez. That's why. There we are. Into another sort of cavernous room. Engravings on the floors, tapestries adorning the walls either side with statues for pillars that show dwarves raising their hammers and axes and holding their shields ready for battle with a war cry on their lips. And at the end, there's another dwarf just staring at the wall that has some kind of very intricate pattern design on it. You may enter without your weapons.
Put them on the floor?
You can leave them here. We'll look after them.
Okay. I'm going to leave all my weapons.
Yeah.
Same.
Yep.
Okay. Unarmed, you are led into the room. The room, apart from the dwarf at the end, is empty.
I'm staying behind Sköld, though.
Same.
Cannot open the door.
The door's open.
Oh, there we go.
I'm
Yeah.
behind you, but I'm carrying on anyway.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I was trying to move forward, but I can't.
Oh yeah. As you all enter, you are kind of ushered into position pretty much where you are now. And the dwarf staring at the wall as you get closer, you can see there's this huge circular slab of stone that's been fused to the wall. The wall is hewn, like it's sort of carved stone. Looks very like it's been worked. Like you can see that. But this slab of stone has been fused to it, and in surrounding like this central area, there is essentially a story in pictures. Aqua, this is your moment to shine. There's, starting from the top and going clockwise around, there's buildings on fire and kind of shadowed with soldiers screaming and staring upwards. And the further around you get, you can see this huge creature flying over that is like in battle. This is the last battle with the Soa for her defeat. Clear as day, but even to Aqua, which is how you know that it's working. And it goes all the way around to her eventual defeat, where she falls into the volcano, and the dwarf is just staring at it. Doesn't acknowledge you. Doesn't flinch as the door opens. Doesn't make a move to greet you or even, recognize that you're there. Sköld, you can see in the center of this engraving of this artwork, there is just a hole, considerably big, just empty cavern, chasm, gap. I had a feeling she'd be coming knocking, getting her mitts involved. Didn't expect her to send lackwits like you, but here you are. What do you want?
We're here to investigate the disappearance.
What makes you think it's any of your business?
Well, on behalf of Jambari, it is.
Interesting. I don't understand why she thinks this is any of her business. This is a Karisgard matter, not Camblesia.
Well, we've been informed that it was under your protection.
How did word get out? We haven't told anyone.
A word hasn't got out, only between us, the trusted party.
How did she find out? Like I said, we haven't told anyone.
Well, looks like there's a lot of things that have escaped these walls, more than just the stone.
What makes you think we should trust you?
Well,
Since you
can't
knew,
make you.
since you know knowledge you shouldn't know.
Can't make you trust us, but I don't see how it can get much worse than the current situation.
I can think of a few ways it could get worse.
And does that involve us?
Not if you turn away now and Stop sticking your nose where it doesn't belong.
Well, if you don't want to help get the heart back, then, well, I'll leave you here and we can go on and do our investigation ourselves. But the more you help us, the sooner or more likely that it will be returned.
The dwarf turns around and he's dressed in armor, but it's not like ornate or in any way ceremonial or practical. It's almost like it's armor for comfort. Like this is his everyday wearing armor. And as he turns around, you can all see that his brow, like sort of the bottom half of his forehead to his eyebrows, are just solid steel. Well, I don't see why we should be getting involved with you or her. Especially if you only think of it as the heart and not what it actually is.
Well, as you say, we know more than we should, but I didn't want to spill any more secrets, for I did not know that you knew.
Of course I knew. There are no pioneers in here. You can speak freely. Of course I knew. We've always known. That's why we've kept it safe.
So how did it happen?
Just disappeared one day. Had our usual feast. Celebrated some of the nobles of Karasgard, and then woke up the next day. Gone. We searched everyone. No one had left. No one had entered the palace. No one had it. We don't know.
Wasn't anybody new at this gathering that you hadn't recognized before? Or had not been there since?
No. You're the only people that have really been here since. Purely because you mentioned the name. We were locked down pretty quickly after the incident.
Sköld, you haven't introduced us, sorry.
Yes, sorry, I suppose it is quite rude of me, but it's my direct nature.
No.
We are the... Hold on. What are we called again?
Navigators.
The Navigators.
We're getting so good at this.
We're getting there.
10 out of 10.
Personal envoys of Jambari.
I was kind of hoping you let us know who this dude is as well, unless he was. I was guessing you probably knew, that's all.
I don't know.
Oh, okay, sorry. I thought it was like the king or something.
Yeah, that's what is he not the Dwarven King? Are you not the Dwarven King?
Karasgard doesn't have a king. You would know that if your guide would inform you properly. I am the head of the Grimhammer clan.
That's close.
My name is Irva Stillbrow Grimhammer.
What was that again? Not meeting him. Me to you. So.
Do you mind spelling your name?
Sköld knows.
You just
Yeah.
want to roll a random die so it's in chat.
Sköld knows.
What was the name again?
Mm-hmm. Yes, Sköld. What was the name again?
Something about Ironbrow.
No.
Stillbrow.
No, it wasn't.
Stillbrow.
Oh,
Stillbrow Grimhammer, but I didn't hear the first name.
That's a shame.
Irvine?
Wow. How have you made it this far?
He's now called Herbie. Steelbrow. Grim.
Okay, good.
No. Irvar. IRVRR. Jesus.
Ah.
You literally have it written down in a Discord message, Rob.
do I know?
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
Yeah.
Expect me to keep track of all these Discord messages.
Yeah. I have to keep track of them all. I've heard about you.
Oh, there it is.
Oh.
There it is. You've been causing trouble up in Linhof.
We helped in Lindhof.
Yeah, we stopped a halfling.
That halfling was in person of interest on our part. We've been keeping an eye on him.
Has
We
he
heard-
moved here?
No, he's not here. Don't know where he is. Conveniently, the night you left Linhof, he escaped.
It was a crafting
Away. Yeah,
bugger.
indeed. His friends were a thorn in our side, and then we followed them. And then they died. He lived. Somehow. If what our spies found or heard were true, then don't know how he survived. But he did. And then he found his way to Linhof. Been there a few days. Then you turn up. Stirred the pot a little bit.
Yeah, he was the one that tried to kill us first.
Not what my informants tell me. There was a bit of a dispute between you, apparently. And then, granted, he made the first move, but he did try and burn down the temple. We don't accept that.
No.
If we find out that you have anything to do with him, or have anything to do with him escaping, the hammer will come down on your heads.
I can assure you that whatever he's done to escape was of his own devices.
Alright, roll a deception check.
Well done, Sköld. I put my thumb up.
Your deception -2.
He looks at you. Right. Well, what do you actually want? Why are you here?
Well, we need a lead, where to look. You know, that no one knows anything, and even Jambari herself has no where to look, you know. It's very much us just chasing dust and echoes at the moment. We need something more concrete.
What happens when you try to use magical means to find it?
Nothing comes back.
Magically hidden somehow.
Maybe.
Thinking out loud, because this could be a possibility, have you actually put your hands where the egg was sat in case someone had turned it invisible and it's actually still here? just invisible.
He reaches up and just places his hand into the gap where the egg used to be. Yeah, nothing there.
Ooh.
So,
Sometimes I wonder how many of these ideas are Aqua and how many of these ideas are Josh.
They are all Aqua.
We have tried to locate objects with it to no avail. We have tried just searching the local area, nothing. Our prevailing theory was that someone got away in the night, managed to make it to the coast before we could react, and got on a ship and sailed away. But judging by the distance and the time it would have taken to get there, maybe they teleported. But then we have no chance. It could be anywhere. As far as we're aware, and as far as most people are aware that we've spoken to, there's no way to track teleports.
No residual magic. I don't know how magic. I'm not very magically gifted, but no residual magic anywhere or evidence of spells.
Not really. But
Was it
again, we don't know if that was actually because there was no spell.
True.
was it magically protected?
It was pretty far in there. The whole slab was made around it. Like they would require some strength to get it out, and it's not just a, you know.
But no magical protection.
Well, I assume there was some. I don't know. I wasn't there when they put it in there. You see.
What exact date was it taken? Sorry, because all we were told is that it is missing. We didn't get an exact date. I don't believe.
Been gone for 3 weeks now.
3 weeks.
That's not that long. I had assumed it had been gone for months.
No. 3 weeks.
It doesn't. I thought it might line up with the first episode when
No.
we got attacked by that pirate ship, but no.
It doesn't know.
3 weeks. And I'm guessing all the ships that have left Karasgard have been tracked down? Or...
We've all done thorough searches from every port in the country. No ship is left without us searching.
So, what if it wasn't taken? What if it was hatched?
There's like an sort of a stern look on the face of Steelbrow. It doesn't react, but you can see something flicker. Anger, maybe fear, perhaps. Something. If it's hatched, then we'd better hope that whatever hatched out of it isn't a threat.
Very true. But that seems like a possibility to me, that if it was wedged in there, magically protected, one of the few ways it could be dislodged would be if it changed its shape, or no longer became the thing that it once was. But, of course, this is all speculation, and it isn't getting us anywhere.
I don't like that suggestion. Not one bit.
3 weeks ago, were we there? We were still in World 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, in Camblasia. don't know.
You were either in Wildenwell or you were just heading there. Like, it wasn't that long ago. But a lot's happened since then.
Yeah.
Like, the exact timeline is sort of escaping me, but
Hmm.
actually I know I think you were in Wildenwell because it's been like either in or left because it was like another couple of days. It was like a week to Ogberg, 3 or 4 days to Ogberg from Wildenwell. Then you were in Wildenwell for a couple of Ogberg for a couple of days. Then you had to sail over from Ogberg to Linhof.
When Luna for 2 days traveled to Karsgard for 3 days.
Yeah, so you'd probably have just, it might have been close or just about Mivanway.
So Jambari found out about the heart being stolen very soon after it actually had gotten stolen.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure how she managed it.
And you have no leads, no suspicious people, no one at the feast who may have had an interest. Do you have any rivals who want to do you harm, who want to try and get the
Well,
proverbial throne?
the coincidence of your halfling friend making it to the lair pretty much a week after the heart was stolen. That piqued our interest. We were following him for that. That was our only lead. But after that, we literally have nothing. It's stupid. Like, how did someone
So he
get
made
in?
it a week after the heart was stolen?
Yeah. Yeah, he went like 2 weeks ago. Because he had to travel there and back.
And I'm asking the dwarf.
Oh.
Nell is trying to put together the timeline.
It's amazing how similar the two of you sound. Yeah. It's been about 2 weeks.
Was he and his group of friends or party, whatever, were they in Kid Roll beforehand?
They passed through, but that was weeks before, we think. We don't know. We only really picked them up when they went past the watchtower in the south.
Yeah, we heard they didn't have the proper papers to even be on the island.
Yeah, there was that too. That's what they were, fugitives anyway, and our attention was properly drawn to them when they passed the southern watch post and started heading up the wasteland.
Okay. Is there a possibility that they have managed to take it somehow and taken it into the volcano?
I hope not.
Who you know? Sorry, go on.
There's like a distant stare now. He's just kind of staring off mid distance sort of stare.
Do you know what's inside the volcano? What killed the group, apart from Rukin?
We now know it's her lair. Don't know what's in there.
He said it wasn't a dragon, but my first assumption was Soa isn't actually dead and she's still slumbering, and then they have awoken her, whichever verb is the right one, and but he said it's not a dragon.
I hope it's not a dragon. Although the volcano's become very active since his visit. I'm sure you've noticed.
Yeah.
From the visit or from when it was stolen?
From the visit.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Fuck.
Is there a chance there could be, and I don't mean to disparage any clan of any sort, but your Grimhammers, you rule.
We do.
Any chance a different clan might be trying to take your place? Is that a possibility? Could they be using this as a way to do it?
I mean, it would certainly risk the well-being of every dwarf on the island.
Some people are desperate, though, sometimes, aren't they?
Desperate power grabs by desperate people. They're dangerous.
Worth considering. There's no clan that stands out as a potential to do such a thing.
Iron Wrath wouldn't have the smarts to do something like this.
I sort of bulk at that.
Is that what you're not? You are Iron Wrath, are you?
Yes.
Okay. Get slammed.
Would you like some aloe vera for that burn?
I'll let it pass.
Golden Finger. They're all about money. They don't have the means to make a play like that.
What is the possibility of Jambari having stolen it?
Personally, I don't know. I haven't seen her for...
Well, not her personally,
Years.
but maybe she hired another group, and it was her bidding that they did, and either betrayed her because they realized what it was and wanted to get some more money somewhere else, or they realized how dangerous it was and they wanted to destroy it in the volcano.
Possible.
What if, and then she
doesn't seem like the sort to try and make an attempt like that.
What is your relationship with her? Broadly speaking, is the relationship between the Complegion Empire and the Karasgard okay? Because she said, I don't remember what she said. But is it a favorable relationship or is it strained?
We tolerate each other. One ruler to another. Nell and Aqua, make a perception check for me. Aqua. You feel it first. And you feel it strong. There's a little rumble in the ground, sort of similar to the tremors you've been feeling for days since you arrived on the island. And then there's a louder rumble. And another rumble. And then there's an almost like ungodly loud sort of bang. And the whole ground shakes. Nell, you kind of join in on sensing it as the like bigger rumbles start. The ground starts shaking. There's little bits of stone shaking loose from the whole room. Irva grabs hold of a pillar and sort of tries to steady himself. The rest of you are starting to lose track. I need everyone to make dexterity saving throws, please.
Oh
Oh
no.
dear.
Nell and Sköld, you managed to grab hold of a pillar. No problem, like, and keep your feet, you're perfectly fine. Aqua, you have a misstep, which sends you careering into Vic. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you bounce off Vic and land on the floor, and then the stone bumps you in the head as you're kind of knocked prone. Vic, as Aqua bumps into you as you're just trying to set yourself, you're reaching out to a pillar to try and grab hold, and he knocks you past it. You bump your head against the pillar, and that kind of sends you a bit doolally. And while you're sort of dazed and a bit confused, the ground continues to shake, getting louder and louder and louder, and like harder and more severe. And it just sends you completely off and against the wall and landing prone. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage, and you were also prone.
Nice.
And the ground just continues to shake, and there's a few just sort of, it sounds like snapping and breaking, and Sköld, you kind of recognize the sound of stone parting, and Irvar is just kind of looking around frantically, trying to make sense of what's happening. And the doors slam open. Sir, it's erupting. We're going to pick up what happens next week.
No.
Oh,
Good job, guys. You didn't die.
not yet.
Not yet.
I'm starting early though. Got that damage in.
I love how you took the same damage with a 1d6 as Vic took with 2d8, and then like Vic halved it.
I know. I got worse off with his nat one.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Where you hit the peck, that was your problem.
Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, that was a good session. Got lots done. Good job. Looking forward to seeing what happens next week. If you are interested, or if you missed any of today's session, you can check it out on YouTube on Thursday, 6:30 GMT. It will be going up on YouTube. We've got the back catalogue of sessions up to episode 14 on YouTube at the moment, which is pretty exciting. We've got a new record for highest viewed video, episode 31, which is currently in at 56 views, I think, which is pretty exciting. Twitch just hit 100 followers yesterday, which is really exciting. So, continue the support. It feels good. I'm glad everyone's enjoying the game. Or at least I hope everyone's enjoying the game. Feels like they are.
Yeah.
And we'll continue the story and see what happens. Again, hopefully for another dozens and tens of episodes. As long as the support's there, we'll keep going. That sort of thing. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're watching on Twitch, follow if you're not. Feel free to give us shout outs. We won't complain. And yeah, Brando, thanks for being here again, as always. And yeah, we will head over to someone else, I guess.